Welcome to Tabletop Cinema, where we bring together the worlds of filmmaking, tabletop role-playing, and video games. I'm your host Mikey, a freelance filmmaker, tabletop RPG game master, and variety streamer on Twitch. Did that come out as ominous as I wanted it to be? I don't know. But tonight it is 9:52 p.m. in Philippine time, and we are going to be continuing our first playthrough of If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. If on a Winter's Night for Travelers is a narrative-driven point-and-click adventure with horror elements that explores the stories of four characters in a masked ball taking place aboard a train in the late 1920s. Last night we finished two of the stories, and there are two left. So we are going to actually be concluding the game tonight, I feel. Each story is not that long, but so far it's been quite the ride. Really sad and depressing stories, but the writing is okay, and each adventure doesn't exactly overstay its welcome. So now we're going to enter the third adventure in this anthology, and this one is called The Nameless Ritual. Harassed, ridiculed, and belittled by his peers, Dr. Jordan Samuels resorted to the occult sciences in a desperate attempt to turn the tables on his tormentors. But is he truly ready to face the guardian of the threshold? So I guess things are gonna get very culty tonight. Supernatural? I don't know. So far, the first two stories, The Silent Room and The Slow Vanishing of Lady Winterborn, there's some kind of supernatural aspect going on in terms of like the train and the fate of these people after, well, their passing, but we have yet to see actual like really freaky shit. So maybe it's gonna be there. But Zen, welcome in. Thank you for lurking as always. And Vanoa, hello there. We're just about to get started, and I think we're gonna be finishing it tonight. And if the coffee stays strong, if the coffee stays in my system, I might just, I don't know what I'm going to be playing after. Let's check my mood. Let's play it by ear. Let's finish If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. There has to be what's a shorter name of calling this game? For Travelers. Just call it For Travelers. So shorthand, For Travelers. Let's see how I feel after For Travelers. Then let's see what kind of horror experience I would like to play next. Or action experience. Or maybe I go back into Asterigos. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to make up for a short stream last night. And I feel like I have a second wind right now. So let's go ahead and try it out. Thank you as well to Water Jalone for following us off stream. I missed you, man. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. If you're watching this now, if you're seeing this as a VOD, thank you for the follow, Water Jalone. I'm also pleased to announce that Tabletop Cinema has also reliably reached past 200 followers. I never imagined this to actually happen. In fact, I thought that, well, we haven't exactly taken off yet, but before starting streaming, a little more than a year ago, I didn't even expect regulars to be coming in or having any viewers whatsoever. It's a long climb. It has been tough. It has been a challenge, but it is also surprising to me that I am still having fun sharing these experiences. And as always, I already said this a million times before, I always hope I get to provide better content and more original content in the future, because I want to give you the most out of your support. So thank you. I just wanted to say thank you. I'm feeling very thankful today. So here we go. Gotta send her this again for some reason. There we go. I wonder if I can choose a chapter. I guess not. Okay. There we go. If I click new game. Oh shit. Did it overwrite my save? No, we have a save slot. Never mind. I just need to load that save slot. But that is the train we're all on. Apparently, people who have killed themselves seem to be ending up on this train. Very old school. Makes me actually want to play the old Indiana Jones adventure games. The Fate of Atlantis and all that. And I believe there were also Call of Cthulhu games like this. No, don't save. Continue. Oh, thank God. Alright. So this is the second scene in this adventure, and basically Jordan Samuels has been ridiculed because of his blackness. This is 1929, and so far this game has been focusing on victims. Always the same, fighting and screaming. It's a very depressing story so far. So the neighbors are fighting. I wonder why. What are they saying? I can't tell. Whatever. I'm gonna start this ritual and get back to them. Anyway, Dr. Jordan Samuels. During an autopsy, is that what you called it? During a class, he was asked for his opinion as to what may be the cause of death of this person, and immediately the whole room, surrounded by white men, didn't give him the chance. So he's gonna get back at them. The first story, it was about a gay couple and one of them caving into societal expectations. And then the second is about a widow going insane after the passing of her husband. So, not very cheery story so far. The Wound Man, an ancient medical illustration showing different types of injuries and diseases. This one has some particularly interesting notes. The sun rules the intellect. Venus makes the heart yearn. Mercury is the hand in darkness. Mars wields a sword. Jupiter hungers for power and casts Saturn's genitals into the sea. I will need this later. Interesting. I'll require this later, but first, I need to place the correct herbs in the bowls in order to align the gate. So, correct herbs in the bowls. Herb jars. These are the ingredients I require for the first part of the ritual. I need to burn the appropriate herb in each bowl. But before I get started, I should bring Mr. Williams his morphine. It's probably in my jacket pocket. Mr. Williams. Astral chart. The stars are right. Mars, Venus, and Saturn are aligned tonight. After months of enduring their mockery with fists and teeth clenched. After months of study and discipline, the moment has arrived. The moment to reach out to forces beyond this world. Okay. Beyond the Veil by T. Newman. It is a lower magical process to make the guardian of the threshold physically visible by producing a particular mixture of a number of substances. A truly terrible spectral being confronts the magician, and he will need all the presence of mind and faith in the security of his path. Seek not, then, to cross his threshold until thou dost feel thyself entirely free from fear and are ready for the highest responsibility. So so far, this is the closest we've come to like a Lovecraftian experience. I may have been totally wrong in my tweet about calling this a Lovecraftian experience. I don't know yet. We haven't really seen much about it. It's just really sad. It's more like psychological horror at this point. But thank you for the lurk. Ooh, campaign finale. Exciting. Good luck with that, Vanoa. Thank you for lurking. And may your adventure go well. Or may it not exactly go well, but may it be exciting, whether it goes well or not. Yeah. I sometimes hear them talking of terrible places in my sleep. I try to write down as much as I can when I wake up, but there is so much I am missing. A chapel in the wilderness, fire among moaning trees. A theater, a dripping blade, the hateful whispers of the dead. A sunken library where memories are drowned and voices from the past echo in the darkness. What does it all mean? I sometimes hear them talking of terrible places in my sleep. Yeah, that is a repeated one. I wonder if it's all in his head, or if he's really seeing all this. The Corridor. The Fiery Summons by H. Zidkovka. I also wonder if these are real books. Madame Zidkovka's Forbidden Opus in 6 volumes. This is the passage I need. The sun burns in golden flames. A violet mantle shall devour Mercury. Cast ye the symbol of Venus into flames of emerald, and engulf in crimson all that belongs to Mars. A raging azure inferno for Jupiter, a black grave for Saturn. I think I have it memorized now. I hope we don't mess it up. Lead bowl, iron bowl, and copper bowl. There's a spot in my heart that's becoming a part of my New York. I truly thought things would be different here. If I perform the ritual correctly, the guardian should manifest himself in the mirror. If I face him with courage, he shall grant me power beyond all imagining. But if there is fear in my heart, well, I have nothing to lose anyway. No. I should take it to him before I get started. My career at the hospital is already on shaky ground. The last thing I need is to be caught taking supplies home. But his tuberculosis is terminal, and this is the only thing that can grant him some relief at this point. Mr. Williams's morphine was in my jacket pocket. I have it now. I should take it to him before I start the ritual. Will we even make it to the ritual at this point? I am afraid of sleeping. A bowl of black lead. A copper bowl, green from corrosion. An iron bowl covered in red rust. Well, let's get to work. Ritual time. Apartment B2. The Johnsons are always fighting. One of these days, it'll end in tragedy. I tried interviewing once, but they almost beat me up. Intervening once. Some things never really change, even here. Good evening, Mrs. Williams. Dr. Samuels, I'm so glad to see you. I was worried you wouldn't come. I apologize. I got held up at the hospital today. How was you doing? Not good, doctor. He can't barely breathe no more. Ain't that cough and that cough. It ain't never been this bad before. Do you think he's... I am so sorry, Mrs. Williams. I wish I could do something. Despite all the medical advances of our era, consumption is a battle we've yet to win. But this will help with the pain, at least. Thank you, Dr. Samuels. Bless your soul. Thank you. No need to thank me, Mrs. Williams. It is my sacred duty. Go to him now. He needs you. Yes, of course. Thank you so much. Good night, Dr. Samuels. Bless you. He will not make it through the night, but he will go in peace at least. Everybody deserves that. Damn. These stairs lead up onto the street. I have nothing to do out there. The ritual awaits. Okay. Sun burns in golden flames. Violet mantle shall devour Mercury. Cast ye the symbol of Venus onto flames of emerald, and engulf in crimson all that belongs to Mars. A raging azure inferno for Jupiter, a black grave for Saturn. Uh-oh. How do I do this? Alright. I can begin the final preparations now. Ooh, god damn it. I gotta read up on which herb is associated to which god. Google time! Heliotrope. What should I Google? Heliotrope god. Heliotrope, oceanid nymph of Greek mythology. Heliotrope, a Grecian which is in the Greek myth, the sun god Apollo is loved by Clytia, for whom he cared little that he went courting the princess Leucothea. Uh, maybe he'll say something if we pick up the herb. Heliotrope. Apparently not. Oh, wait. Mars, Venus, and Saturn are aligned. Okay. I'll require this later, but first I need to place the correct herbs in the bowls. Got it. Sun burns in golden flames. Heliotrope. So, cast the symbol of Venus onto flames of emerald. And engulf in crimson all that belongs to Mars. A raging azure inferno for Jupiter. This one I'm not sure of. Black grave for Azure. This is the complete treaty I have found on the esoteric use of herbs and plants. Oh, there's a book. This is the passage I need. The sun shines on the heliotrope. There we go. Mercury smells of fresh hyssop. The visions of wormwood rule over Mars. Venus is the sweetness of the rose. Sage is the wisdom of Jupiter. The hemlock is Saturn's blessing. I think I have it memorized now. Alright, I will need to write this down. Classic adventure game. Read that again. Sun shines on heliotrope. Mercury smells of hyssop. Wormwood, Mars, Venus, Rose. Wormwood, Mars, Venus, Rose. Sage, Jupiter, Hemlock, Saturn. Alright, anything else? That's it. Alright, now for the bowls. Sun in golden flames. Violet shall devour Mercury. Mercury smells of hyssop. Cast ye the symbol of Venus onto flames of emerald. Venus into emerald. Engulf in crimson all that belongs to Mars. Got it. All right. A raging azure inferno for Jupiter. Black Saturn. Raging azure. What is that? Black Saturn. Green, right? Azure's greenish. No, it's sorry. Azure is bluish. So raging azure. Is there even a blue one? Huh. Of course, azure skies. Stupid. All right. Let's do it one by one. Ah, but the order. The order is important. Sun, Mercury, Venus. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. All right. Oh my god, you gotta do these rituals correctly, or who knows what we're gonna summon. Sun is first. Heliotrope and Golden Flames. Whoosh. Is that correct? Mercury in violet. That is what I don't know. Where are we supposed to put violet? Violet mantle shall devour Mercury. So hyssop. Where should I put hyssop? Violet. What makes violet? What's next? Venus is emerald. Huh. Rituals are hard. Violet color combinations. To make violet, you can combine it with blues and greens. Oh, how to make violet. Two pure primary colors, magenta and cyan, otherwise known as primary red and blue. Where's the blue? Huh. What is violet associated with? A violet mantle shall devour Mercury. Cast ye the symbol of Venus onto flames of emerald. That's clear. Engulf in crimson. I guess that's the rusted again. All that belongs to Mars. And a raging azure. Blue. I don't know where the blue is. For Jupiter. and black, which is the lead bowl for Saturn. Are we missing bowls here? Violet mantle. Ugh, herbs in the bowls. Let's just try it out. What color does that become? Black lead. Green from corrosion. Red rust. Red, green, and black. What's next? Venus and emerald. Venus is rose. I'm doing something wrong. Maybe I should consult my books again. Knowledge is nothing by itself without a strong mind to make use of it. Maybe I have to ignore like the violets and stuff. We only have these, right? Okay. Sun. And golden flames. But it's red. I don't know. Mercury in violet mantle. That doesn't make sense. Rose and emerald. Saturn in black. No. Mars. Sorry. Mercury is violet mantle. Venus is emerald. Mars is crimson. So I'm guessing the red bowl. Mars is wormwood. Ah, maybe I really do have to get rid of it. Saturn, which is hemlock, is black. Maybe I just have to ignore the other colors that aren't there. We only have 3 bowls. There's no mixing and shit. Or can we combine some herbs? Let's try it. I need to put herbs in the bowls. Okay, forget it. So we don't have golden flames. So the only thing we have are red, green, and black. So sun shines on heliotrope. So heliotrope is gold. That's nothing. Hyssop on violet. That's nothing. Venus is rose. Rose to emerald. That's something we have. Mars, which is wormwood to red. I wonder how they came up with this or how someone found out about this. Welcome in, Fisher. Hope your head is feeling better. Thank you. That's a great way to come in. I was actually going to ask, the world's tiniest wind turbine? That sounds pretty interesting. And then you followed up with a punchline. I've walked right into that. I mean, at least you're honest, right? At least you're very honest. It is not a big fan. I do believe you. Well, welcome in. We just started. We're stuck on this ritual. We're trying to summon the Watcher of the Threshold or something. Hey Izzy, I'm also so excited. Just of course super bummed about. I'm pretty sure you've seen the videos going around. The discussions also going around. Uh, about Helena. I'm totally with her in that, especially as someone, me and myself personally, who has been victimized by the unethical practice or terrible pay and unethical practices in the entertainment industry in our own local industries. I feel for her there. It's an unfortunate situation. And now it also makes me wonder how much were the I wonder how much the Japanese VAs were paid and how much the other like and what's the going rate for the English VAs in a Platinum Games game, right? I'm actually wondering now. Like the fact that she announces her offer, now I'm wondering, all right, like what have other people been being paid? And I was with her in the beginning, Izzy. I did not like how uh she said like oh like I respect Jen and like I wish her all the best, but she has no right to sign as Bayonetta. Has no. She was very emotional. I will say it's very emotionally charged. I was just focusing on her, the main part, the main thrust of it, which I think we can all agree is that yes, a lot of people in the entertainment industry are not paid what they are worth. I totally felt that in my bones as someone in the entertainment industry in the Philippines, which has a very notorious. Um, we don't even have unions to help. There's nothing to help support us for in the entertainment industry. But everything else that Elena did is just very, very emotionally charged. And then she started quoting the Bible. And I get what she was trying to say like, with the Bible, but then it just came off as her trying to condemn people to hell. Uh, exactly that. She dragged Jennifer's name through the mud, or that's how it came off because she was very angry, and I just didn't like it when she said, "Good luck to you, Jennifer, but you're never gonna be Bayonetta," and she talked about she was saying it's a betrayal also, and then like damn. I'm also confused about that. I would have expected Jennifer Hale to cost a hell lot more than Helena. I don't know. Like, will we ever find out what they paid Jennifer Hale? Now the thing about Izzy, sorry, not Izzy. The thing about the her quote, like of course when she said, "I quote Jesus," and like, I braced myself. But you also have to admit, the parables and everything, there are logical and moral lessons to be learned from a lot of the parables, and it's simple, common sense, common human decency, which is like, it is simply that, like, um, we understand capitalism sucks. Capitalism sucks. The bosses get paid more. The people under them get the scraps, and it can be abused. It can be exploited, just like any system. But to I don't know, it just didn't sit with me right. But anyway, like that aside, I'm still with her in the fact that yeah, it does take a lot to stand up for what you feel you are worth, because that's something I totally feel here. And what's really sad, the terrible truth, Izzy, is that at least in my country, I understand living costs. Cost of living is definitely a thing. It's not easy to compare wages across different countries. But when she announced her what she was offered, you know what the sad thing is? It just put things into perspective for me. And I saw the going rates for a Screen Actors Guild actor. I mean, let me tell you, millions of Filipinos would kill each other to get the offer that Helena got. I'm not even kidding. It's so fucking depressing. Cause me, I'm like, huh? That sounds okay. That was my initial reaction when she announced her thing. But of course, cost of living there, it's not even a month's wage. And then I saw all these people in the comments saying, "What? That's like I work as a barista and I earn twice that." And then me in the Philippines, I'm like, right, I'm in a developing country. Cannot really compare. Cannot really relate. Because 4,000 USD for a gig, for a lead voice role, that's a sad reality. That is a terrible truth that the company could, even if they wanted to. It's like, fine, you don't want to accept the 4,000, then we're gonna go to this developing country where people will be lining up to play Bayonetta. I mean, it fucking sucks. We are our minimum wage. Just a bit of context. I'm just gonna say that the average starting salary of a Filipino per month is less than 200 US dollars. All right. But look, again, cost of living to a lot of foreigners, a lot of stuff in the Philippines is cheap as fuck. But just consider that this isn't even enough to feed a Filipino family nowadays. They get $200 or less a month. All right. The poverty is still super high in the country. The divide between the rich and poor just gets wider and wider. That's why it's just like, wow, shit. No wonder why people are getting international clients and going abroad, because our own entertainment industry treats us like trash. So I've totally felt Helena in the first part of that video, which is like, yeah. Like 4,000 is a lot for us in the Philippines, but yeah, I get you. It's not enough for your standards and what you are worth, which made me think, okay, let's set it in Japan. Like, how much are Japanese seiyus paid? Like, on her level, and how much are like English dubbed, how much are English voice actors paid in on the level of Nintendo Platinum Games collaboration? We don't exactly have the numbers because companies love to hide behind their NDAs. Corporations discourage employees from sharing data about their salary because of workplace harmony. I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but in the Philippines, it is super frowned upon to talk about your salary with your coworkers. And this can be abused a lot by management, because since the coworkers don't know what each one is being paid, they say that, oh, to prevent jealousy, we're going to say no one talk about your salaries. But that also gives them windows to like pay this person way more, because this person is unaware that he's doing way more work than this other person, but he thinks in his mind he's being compensated fairly for it. I've seen this countless times. I hear this countless times from people, from my friends who work in a lot of offices. This is the norm. And it's only when they begin to resign or when someone breaks NDA when they finally realize, oh my fucking god, I'm being paying half your salary and I'm doing twice your work. It's crazy. Anyway, sorry, I was just ranting now. Yeah. I'm sure we can all agree that voice actors, people in the entertainment industry, people like Helena, gig workers, and all that, we get screwed over way too often. And in an ideal world, we would be paid fair rates. But capitalism sucks, and I wish she didn't. No, I mean I can't look. I also felt that easy in her second, third, and fourth parts of the video, and how she ended with like quoting the Bible against them. It just didn't sit right with me. But just looking at that from an emotionally charged perspective, and she was simply saying, yeah, the rate was an insult by her standards, and she's just pointing out that what we already know. People at the top, most of them are assholes, and they earn the most, while the people below get the crumbs. We all know that, and it's fucking stupid. It sucks. Um, and yes, I wish more people were aware of that, but I don't know, man. It's just She says she's starving, yet she hasn't been credited in this recent. Yeah, and that also kind of boggled my mind. Like, as much as a jerk, what's his name? Ah, fuck. The guy who keeps blocking everyone. One of the Bayonet directors. The one who keeps blocking everyone on Twitter. As much as abrasive as he can be, it also makes you wonder, oh, was he saying the untruth? Was he simply trying to cover his ass? Or like, it's a he said, she said thing, right? It's just like, yes, Helena has a good point. I think we can all agree that people in the entertainment industry need to be better treated. But not right now, it's a he said, she said. Yeah. So Kamiya. But Kamiya is more outwardly a jerk. So of course, people are saying he's just hiding behind Twitter and blocking shit and not making a comment. I wonder what Nintendo's gonna say, if they're gonna say anything. I wonder if they're actually gonna go after Helena. Like, they could. I don't know if it's in Japan's interest. I don't know if they're the type to go sue the ass of someone who breaks NDA. I don't know. And what's Kamiya saying about something being untruthful? And then the thing with Jennifer Hale is still confusing me. Like, Jennifer Hale has way more credits than Helena. I doubt she did she accept 4,000 or less, or was she paid even more? I always thought in my head Jennifer Hale cost way more, but I have no idea, and we'll never know because NDAs. Don't talk about your salaries, etc., etc., etc. So I guess one benefit here is that, again, it is in the spotlight. The fact that she came out with her salary and there's an actual figure that she announced, whether it's true or not, it does bring into question, okay, what were the others paid as? What are the going rates for a Japanese gaming studio, which have already been notorious for like overworking their employees? Well, I mean, even in the West, they overwork. Almost every freaking corporation does it. They're not. It's not unique to Japan. Point is, well, at least like she put out a figure. Now I'm curious if anyone else will be like stepping forward to like, yo, you know what? I've worked with other Japanese game developers on a certain the same caliber, and then rough rates. Like, I'm wondering if there's a discussion going on about that. Maybe it was just a bigger name, but the way to do it also was they could have just said, we unfortunately you didn't make the auditions. We chose Jennifer Hale, but according to Helena, she passed with flying colors, and then she was given the offer of 4,000. Now, what could have easily been was that maybe Jennifer Hale and um Helena were, they accepted multiple people, they had a short list, they gave them separate offers. I don't know. I have no freaking clue. We'll never know. I don't know if we'll ever know. Anyway, uh yes, it's super disappointing, and it's just now Twitter's going crazy, and now people are fighting amongst each other saying, "You're not boycotting Bayonetta 3, you have no heart." So now I'm like, oh crap, not this again. Anyway, anyway. Uh 2 weeks. I'm still bummed that I couldn't get the Masquerade edition, Izzy. Fuck. I'm such a huge fan of Bayonetta. I cannot believe I slept on the Masquerade edition. Did you hear they arrested a devil? Yeah, they got him on possession. God damn it, Fisher. I mean, you could go arrest a lot of the people in charge of these big corporations. It's the typical story. Big corpo bad, capitalism bad. Um, People up top funding it, earning the most money, not willing to pay their employees. Look, I still truly believe most companies out there can afford to pay people more, especially in my country. But they don't, because they want to preserve their bottom line and exceed those. And yeah, anyway. And they make it up for it with pizza parties. uh, Also, she brought up the amount of money Bayonetta's made over the years. She pulled that out of her ass. Yeah, that's also another thing, right? It's her figures were also off. Like, again, like I'm trying not to like. Yeah, it is a disrespectful on her level with her standard of living. It is a disrespectful offer. It's just we have no other details as to like. I know I'm usually I side with the victim usually, but in terms of these things where a lot of it is obscured and hidden, and uh, we're not sure about proper standards, or if she's just lashing out because she wasn't picked. I don't know. Point is, it is a very emotionally charged argument that we can all get behind because yes, we can all agree that employees do need to be treated better. I'm just repeating myself. I have nothing else to add. Yeah, no corporate response yet. If they ever will, I don't know. You know, I actually really loved the first Mario Rabbids. I thought I would hate it, but I actually thought Mario Rabbids was a really good game. And it also got me the most invested. It actually got me invested in Mario, like in the Nintendo cast. Like I could care less about like the Rabbids, but for some reason, Mario Rabbids was able to was able to draw so much more personality and character out of the Nintendo cast, or maybe that is just me. I love Mario Rabbids, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting the sequel. Gotham Knights, I'm going to wait for a review, probably wait for a discount. I haven't even finished Arkham City and Arkham Knights. I only finished Arkham Asylum. I know they're not like totally connected, but it feels weird like jumping straight to Gotham Knights. Anyway, yeah, Mario Rabbids, I do recommend getting the game if you have not played it yet, like the first game. And the sequel looks like it is going to be shaping up quite well. We'll see about that. And randomly, if one of you knows where to get a Bayonetta Masquerade Edition, I already like on multiple online stores. I already put like notify me, please notify me when it comes back in stock. If not, I'm gonna have to just be okay with the physical pre-order bonus, which is like a dice tray with with like some witchy symbols, which is fine. I play TRPGs, and when I get into physical games soon, may as well have a Bayonetta dice tray. I mean, why not? Is it not connected at all, or was it Suicide Squad that's supposed to be connected to the Arkham series? Maybe I got it wrong. Maybe you're right. It's Suicide Squad, which is like set in the future, well, far in the Arkham Knight series, right? I may be wrong about that as well. The Suicide Squad game. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Suicide Squad made by the same people, so we'll see. Anyway, really sad about what happened to Helena. Not a total fan of the rest of her argument. A lot of things still up in the air, a lot of things still obscured. It is so difficult to say anything about it. Except for the things we already know and that we can already agree upon. So yeah, that is the world. And hey, if you do want to support Helena, I guess there are other ways to support her other than boycotting the game. Like, if she has a GoFundMe, or if there's a role you can offer her, or something, right? Yeah. Sorry, I meant that. Same universe. I thought Gotham Knights was in the same universe. It's just that Batman is dead, quote unquote. But I think I may have gotten my details mixed up because they announced it at the same time, roughly as Suicide Squad. I think Suicide Squad is the one made by Rocksteady, which is supposedly set in the Arkhamverse. She will need a GoFundMe. And I mean, I do hope they don't, like, if they end up suing her, that's like, if she, she's already living out of her car, according to her. So it's like, ouch, because she broke NDA. They could legally go after her, but uh, I hope she'll eventually get a GoFundMe, or people will offer her work to make up for that, and that this actually generates discussion amongst, well, perhaps other Japanese game studios or English voice actors for Japanese games. There have been some discussions about it. Matthew already shared some voice actors having discussions about that. Other voice actors, like people who work on Resident Evil 3, Susie Hunter, who specializes in Capcom games and other Japanese action games. She had a Twitter space talking with Evan Saba, who plays Resident Evil Brad Vickers, and they were discussing like how much they were paid and the rates like that. Now that these discussions are happening, I've seen this work. I have seen this work, and I hope it does work for them. In the Philippines specifically, like a lot of freelancers really came out of the woodwork, and they started getting. We got so frustrated about clients just pissing, just hoping to get away with paying in peanuts, or saying that, hey, we can get a fresh grad who's desperate for work, who will work for free. And then a lot of freelancers started putting up, okay, these are the rates that we've been being paid. These are the rates that they're paying, and they saw so many discrepancies, and how the range was so ludicrous, from free to like $500 for example, like, or that free to $1,000 with no in betweens. There's no like average. It is just Wild West. So when a lot more freelancers started having discussions about this, and there were panels about it with the Film Council, with independent organizations like with the film industry, there was a lot more pushback and a lot more change, because they couldn't get away with. It's like these clients could no longer get away with that shit. They still do, but not as much as before, because people started talking about, you know what, they keep fucking us over. How much have you been being paid? We need to increase our standards. Like, we're never gonna meet international standards and international rates, but they can always afford to pay us more and what we are worth, considering the equipment, the time, hell, even the work conditions and the hours. Long story short, I've seen like people coming out and speaking out against clients and big corporations who refuse to pay gig workers what they were worth, and them actually putting out figures for other freelancers to really look at and see that, oh, these guys are being fucked over because this guy knew this person more than the other, that they're paying them twice the amount, etc., etc., etc. My point is, these discussions need to happen because in the Philippines there are no unions which support that. There's no SAG to point, right? There's no SAG. There are no rate cards. We have none of that, or at least I'm not aware of it in my industry. So anyway, I hope it works out for Helena and other voice actors. Japanese game studios gave out like a $500,000 raise a lot to publishers here. Bamco, Koei, Capcom. Yeah. I'm actually super wondering. Someone is talking about how Japanese seiyus have certain ranks as well, which come with, of course, a certain pay range. I'm wondering what they, if you were to like compare it, like what is the Japanese VA of Bayonetta receiving? I'm actually wondering. Are they paying her 4,000, like roughly 4,000 USD as well in yen? I wonder. Probably more, right? Like if they're focusing on their Japanese actors or Japanese seiyus. Okay. Anyway, that is a lot of I digress. That is a segue. Yeah, it's just blowing up on Twitter right now. It's just all over the news. I will still. Oh fuck! The elements are aligned. Now I must mark my skin with blood. One small cut in each spot shall suffice. Okay, that got ominous. Right, back to this game. We're trying to summon a ritual because people have been discriminating against us, and now we want ultimate power or something like that. So we're going to face the Watcher at the threshold without fear. I must now wound myself 3 times. The sun rules the intellect. Venus makes the heart yearn. Mercury is the hand in darkness. Mars wields the sword. Jupiter hungers for power and casts Saturn's genitals into the sea. I'm gonna have to cut my genitals. Rituals are serious business, chat. I have to note this down again. Don't want to mess this up. We might end the world. Right. Sun rules the intellect. So cut from the head, I guess. Venus makes the heart yearn. So what do we have? We have... No, we don't have Sun. We have Mars. Highlighting Mars, which is in the red, which is crimson. We have Venus, which is in the emerald. And we have Hemlock, Saturn. So all I have to pay attention is Venus, Mars, and Saturn. But I have to do it in order as well. So let's not fuck this up. Sun rules the intellect. Venus makes the heart yearn. Mercury, hand. Mars wields the sword. Jupiter hungers for power. Cast Saturn's genitals into the sea. I know Japanese salaries aren't the highest. Doctors make a lot less. Some CEOs have been interviewed and been straight up said that the executives in America get paid would never fly in Japan. Yeah, and see that's the thing. Japanese standards. Let's say Bayonetta was developed in the Philippines. That is, you know, we wouldn't even be able to afford Helena at that rate. And in Japan, given the salaries that they have and the standard of living, the country you are working in will also have varying different standards. You're an American coming to the Philippines demanding an American wage, you're gonna get laughed out of the room. Or not, because maybe you might be white and because post-colonial mentality is a thing. And they do pay foreigners more than their local counterparts. It is a fact. Just because they are foreign. Anyway. Yeah, it's that. Exactly. It's like, I'm pretty sure the Japanese salaries are not, on average, aren't exactly... Where's Helena Taylor from? Is she from the UK? Is she from the US? For them, 4,000 USD isn't even a 2-month wage. That blows my mind. In the Philippines, 4,000 USD might be even a year's income. That is, see, the divide there. So she can't like come to the Philippines, and if they offer her like 4,000 USD in pesos, and she scoffs at that, that's a year's salary of the average Filipino. I know you can't compare. I know, that's why people go to developing countries, because they're cheap. It's might be cheaper to do your thing in a developing country. But God, there really is a reason why a lot of Filipinos want to escape to a better life abroad. Like, especially your doctors. God, I have a lot of friends who are in the medical industry. They really want to leave. It is so horrible for them here that one of my friends who were able to escape to like the UK and other countries, they are so much happier. Like they cannot believe what the nurses and doctors in the Philippines go through or have to go through. It's not 2 month wage, but I don't think it would even be 1 week work. Sounds like she's not leveraging herself well. Yeah. Again, we all know she already said what we all know, and we can all get behind her in terms of like better treatment. But you are right. The details that came across in the videos and how she followed that up, it is literally a Helena says, Kamiya says, and later on maybe Nintendo says, Platinum says, then Helena says, then someone else says, and we have no other evidence which to compare these rates, these wages, how the thing actually went down, whether they really just wanted Jennifer Hale and not Helena, and like what went on. It still boggles my mind. They got Jennifer Hale, not Helena. Jennifer Hale definitely on average much pricier. It's weird. I'm so curious. What did they pay Jennifer? I want to know. I just want to know. Venus makes the heart yearn. Catherine and sea. Okay. Hemlock burning in a lead bowl. Saturn's path is open. Wormwood burning in an iron bowl. Mars's path is open. Roses burning in a copper bowl. Venus's path is open. Where do I get my dagger? Okay, I want to wound myself. I just don't know how. Crucifix? Bed? Is that a dagger? Athame? Athame? It is time. Oh, okay. What is an athame? An athame is a ceremonial blade, generally with a black handle. Sweet. It's a dagger catered to rituals. Athame. Learn something today. Yeah, Izzy. That's why it's like Jennifer Hale she's one of the most prolific voice actresses in the entire industry. All right, she is femshep to me, and suddenly she's Bayonetta. Like before all the details came out, in my head initially I was like, holy fuck, they afforded Jennifer Hale or they got her for Bayonetta. And then now we're like, oh, because Helena was offered 4,000. What the hell was Jennifer offered? Usually Wiccan, but I don't think it's limited to Wicca. Yeah. Yep, learned something new. I didn't know there's like I thought they're just like ritual daggers. I didn't know what it called an athame. That is cool. All right. Flesh. I must now wound myself 3 times. Okay, the order I have in my notes. We have Venus, Mars, and Saturn. So first up is Venus. Venus, which is the emerald bowl. Green bowl. Right. Venus on the green bowl, which is heart. Chest. Oh god. Oh. Wait, am I supposed to be standing in the middle? Okay, never mind. Mars, wields the sword. So, left hand? For me, left hand. But, are we... Oh, anyway, left hand. It's not wielding the dagger, right? No, my hand is hesitating. This doesn't feel right. I must start again. God damn it. Okay, chest. Heart yearns. Can I die from this? Right hand. Wielding the sword. Alright, there we go. Right hand bias. And... our groin area. Ow. Ow. It is time to enter the circle. Oh shit, it is real. What is this? This is not what I expected. Am I meant to cross over to him? So be it then. Odontis Fortuna Iovat. How's it going, Big B? Where am I? Is this really the other side? We finally have a ritual in this game. And that must be the Guardian at long last. I must remain calm and focused. I have prepared myself for this moment. I am worthy. Heck yeah, we're worthy. We just cut our balls for this. The light is sickening. Oh, it's our room. You're right, upside down. Nobody has slept here in a very long time. Scribbles. Wound man. These look like notes. Is this my handwriting? How can this be? I do not remember ever writing this. I have given my memories away to the waters. I barely remember who I am. My soul is a scorched, blackened stump. All my acts of kindness undone. I do not know what they will demand of my body. I fear this has all been for nothing. But I cannot turn back now. God help me if he still remembers my name. Strange. How's it going, Big B? We... actually, the ritual was just the beginning of this story. So, this is the third story out of 4. The moment has come. Oh, great keeper of the gates, guardian of the threshold, I beseech thee, hear my plea. I have opened the way. I face thee without fear. Solka big of belot avoid price. Putrid return price. Price taken. Scorn price. Veil trapped. Flesh unworthy. Unworthy. Worthy. Okay. So, I think he wanted to do this for... what do we want? So, he did say he wanted revenge, right? Revenge against all those people who've been discriminating against him. Currently dying and don't starve. I remember playing the single player version of that. Yep. You can run into a lot of problems there. Always loved the style of Don't Starve. Never actually tried the multiplayer one. I played it before the multiplayer one came out. Don't starve, literally. My name is Jordan Samuels. I seek revenge. Teach me thy lessons of wrath, that I might humiliate my enemies. Scorn, blood, void, empty, spill, the price. Adversary, flesh, sacred, blood, sacrifice, blade, blood. I do not understand. According to my books, he should speak clearly and distinctly and offer counsel and guidance. Whatever this creature is, it is not the Guardian. What am I meant to do now? Where am I? What is this place? Why is the Guardian not here? Who art thou, then? Speak thy name. Christ ever, Jordan. Trapped always. Doctored together. Gone scalpel was. Both were Samuels we. You're me? Trapped punish. Both ever flesh punish. Madness. I am Jordan Samuels. Me. Vile creature. Trickster. It looks like he's been puking, so it's like very liquidy in my head. Why is the Guardian Knight not here? I carried out every step of the ritual to summon his physical form. What else do I need to do? Sacral, burn, erase, rise. Mind, purpose, flesh, soul. You're not making any sense. Mind, flesh, soul. Not enough. Only one failure. Not enough? Only one failure? This makes no sense. None of the texts I read mentioned something like this. Where am I? What is this place? Present, other, same crossroad. Yesterday are together. All converge. Time tomorrow both. Convergence of time and space. I can barely make a sense of this gibberish. Crossroad? Is that what this place is? Some sort of limbo? I am wasting my time. I will not get any answers here. I need to try to make sense of all this. Lamp? Wound man. Oh, my way back is... Looks like there is no going back through here. Uh-oh. This is my room, though. This really is the upside down. Alright, there's a lamp. There was a passage in the book. Illumine the darkness ahead of thee. Take not a single step forward until thou art positive that thou hast sufficient oil in thine own lamp. The lamps of the guides whom thou hast hitherto followed will now no longer be available to thee. So uncharted territory. Yet the light seems to be keeping him alive. Taking it away might kill him. But it is my craving for revenge that has brought me here. This fire is mine. It belongs to me. Nothing shall stand in my way. Not even myself. Okay. I shall not waver. I shall not fail. A warning, but I shall not fail. Time to go back to the mirror? No. What else can I illuminate? Scribbles? So does this mean I did write this? Or no, some other me, the one who fails. I cannot think about this now. I must push onwards. Onwards to where? Oh, nice. Corridor. Okay. I hear something like a heart beating. There's no turning back. Whatever awaits me lies ahead now. Apartment B2. The Johnsons. Something terrible happened here. Is this another timeline? Apartment B1 is open. Oh. To the tuberculosis guy. Ulcer. Dear Lord, is it alive? The stairs. They no longer go up to the street, but downwards. Apartment B1. Mrs. Williams? Is that you? Are you alright? Oh! You monster! You killed him, you monster! I cannot let this get to me. It is a test. Just a test. I did what I had to do. Yeah, we gave him enough morphine to pass peacefully. Because his tuberculosis was like terminal. Down we go. I cannot see anything ahead. It looks like a dead end. But it has to be this way. There is nowhere else to go. Deep breath. Books. There are books and loose pages floating in the water. Where could have they come from? Hey, you shared that last time, Fisher, or someone shared that last time. Oldie but a goodie. My God, where are we? So this is definitely the more... I recognize those bookshelves. I have seen this place before, in dreams. I was lost in a maze of corridors, trying to find something, but I cannot remember what or why. This is the most supernatural story so far. Most of these books are moldy and rotten, but some of them are in a surprisingly good condition. Oh, they're not just books in here. I see some trinkets lying in the dust too. A locket, some photographs, a few gold rings, dead roses. All tokens of love by the looks of it. Aww, I love Eevee. And that is the first time I heard Patreon. Okay, I love that. Like the many evolutions of Eevee, add a Patreon to that. You know, I grew up on Pikachu, but now, I don't know, I love Eevee. Like mascot wise, of course Pikachu a part of me still devoted to. I grew up with Pikachu, but I don't know, as an adult Eevee has caught my heart. Maybe it's because I became a cat dad. I know Eevee's not a cat, but you know, compared to Pikachu. Arsamandi, Song of Songs, Kama Sutra, the spirit and the flesh, always inextricably intertwined. Yeah, we have love, we have sex, and spiritualism. Classic romantic novels by Shakespeare, Stendhal, Dumas, Calvino? I've never heard of him. What is with this library? Romance novels, love stories, bundles of letters. This whole section is a monument to the depths of the human heart. Oh no, Chewie. No! They ate Chewie! Going by the titles, these appear to be music monographs and biographies of famous composers. Well, I could keep going. Now I need the light to look at the bookshelves. These seem to be relatively recent. I recognize some of Miss Austen's works. Oh wow, Jane Austen's works. This place feels old beyond words. I see a desk over there. These shelves are full of diaries. Many of them are still secured with small metal locks. I could barely make these out. Most of them don't even have titles. They look like diaries and manuscripts. Okay, what is that? Another creature. It is not acknowledging me. Does it not know I am here, or does it simply not care? Should I try making my presence known? Librarian and scroll. What is it writing? A memory of Jordan Samuels, born April 27, 1897. A memory of Dr. Samuels, field medic. A memory of Jordan, loving betrothed. A memory of that darky down the street. A memory of Mr. Samuels, music aficionado. That is me. That is my life. All the me's. Here, my name is Jordan Samuels. I have walked these aisles in dreams. Art thou the keeper of this place? It is paying me no heed. I don't think it is listening to me. There seems to be something else. It seems to be listening to something. What is it listening to? What are you listening to? Huh. Haha, baby crying. Great. These all look like children's books. Bedtime stories, fables, fairy tales. Child rearing manuals. Most of these seem to be quite modern. It is growing louder. How could there possibly be a child in this place? These seem to be photo albums rather than books. There are some framed photographs lying around too. They all feature babies and young infants. It is coming from the other side. From inside this photo album. This is my family. Grandparents, father, aunts, mother. So this baby she's holding must be me. But I've never seen this photograph before. What is it doing here? I should bring this book back to that creature. Maybe it was guiding me to it for some reason. I am taking this album back to that creature. Police arrested a bottle of water because it is wanted in 3 different states: solid, liquid, and gas. Nice. It helps break the tension of this scene. Children's folk stories. I recognize some of these titles. Tales of Anansi, The Adventures of Brer Rabbit, All the Pretty Little Horses. So now we are going to bring this crying book to this... It wants the book. Wow. What is it going to do to the book? These are all music methods from what I can see. Choruses on different instruments, composition manuals, and so forth. Let's give him the book first, the children's book. I wish I could see all this in HD. What am I doing here? Was I not... I was holding... Was I carrying something? Or perhaps it was that dream. It looked so much like this place. And was this creature there too? What does it want? Should I try talking to it? Did he reset my memory? It is paying me no attention whatsoever. It looks like it is trying to hear something else. Now the music, I guess. Sovereign Streams! Welcome in, Sovereign Streams. How are things going? Well, we're playing a pretty chill game today. It's a point-and-click adventure. I'm not sure if you've heard of it. If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. It is free on Steam. So spoilers ahead, if you want to play this point-and-click adventure set in the 1920s, old-school point-and-click aesthetic, it's quite decently written so far. It's an anthology of 4 stories. Go ahead and try it out. But welcome to the stream, Sovereign Streams. Sovereign Streams 117. We are in the 3rd story, I believe, and I'm gonna try and wrap this up by later. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy one of the... I think this is the creepier story. Like, I already finished the first 2. They weren't that creepy. But here, I'm getting the Lovecraftian vibes here. I mean, that's a librarian. And I hear music now, right? And I don't know why it's wanting these books. What this upside down world is. All I want is revenge against the people who are mean to me. The music is very close now. There must be a gramophone hidden somewhere. This whole section seems to be contain only military treatises and history books. Here's the music, this way. There is no gramophone. The music is coming from inside this book. The sheet music for Fritz Kreisler's Liebeslied. Of course it is. I don't know how to pronounce that. Liebeslied. The day I received the acceptance letter from the Chicago College of Medicine and Surgery. I borrowed a tuxedo, spent too much money in a fancy concert, drank too much wine afterwards. It did seem back then like I was destined for great things. But why this? Why now? Why am I even here to start with? Maybe if I take this book back to that creature, I will get some answers. Basically, all these people end up on a train. A masked ball on a train. I still don't know what's up with that. But the past 2 people had pretty tragic fates, and they ended up on the train. I've been streaming more in the evening lately. This isn't actually part of the schedule, because my scheduled hours are really weird for people on both ends of the time zone. I think only Aussies are the ones able to catch the stream at those regular hours, but if I do feel like it, if I do have the energy, I do try to stream in the evening and get a few more people there. And hey, we got you for tonight. This is not like, I don't do well with horror as well, but honestly, this game has not been scary at all. Like maybe there's like one jump scare, but compared to like playing a game like Outlast or Amnesia: The Dark Descent, that's something I still have to play. Or Fatal Frame. I might play Fatal Frame within the month for spooky season. Those are the ones that will probably scare the shit out of me. But this, it's really just more like psychological horror. Like nothing terrifying. Nothing at all. I mean, this is creepy, this is unnerving, but I find it pretty cool. Like a Call of Cthulhu adventure. There's barely anything left in these shelves. I can only make out some tomes in Baroque and classical music, and some titles in Arabic. Where's the gramophone? There's barely anything left in these shelves. I can only make out some tomes and oh, okay. Is it here? Going by the titles, these appear to be music monographs and biographies of famous composers. Am I getting close? I'm looking for a gramophone book. But I can't tell with the music. Not Fatal Frame. I'm not gonna be playing Fatal Frame 1 though. I'm gonna be doing Fatal Frame Maiden of Blackwater. I think it's a not, I don't know if it's remastered or if it's just ported. A port of the Wii U version. I don't know if that's scary, but jump scares get me, and I guess it has a lot of jump scares, so. Military treatises and history books. I don't think the gramophone is supposed to be here. These are extremely worn out, but they must be really old. The Art of War, The Conquest of Gaul, the treasure that combines all arts. These are all about the Great War. Diaries, maps, field reports. Saint Mihiel. I was never there, but I know some men who were. I know not pronounce this. Meuse Argonne. I was so close to some of these places. Yeah, the Great War. All these seem to be either novelizations of famous battles or biographies of military leaders. Yeah, I don't think the gramophone's here. There are a bunch of dog tags scattered around on this shelf. They are covered in a thick layer of dust. Is he here? Feels like it's coming. Sounds like it's coming from here. I can barely read any titles on this shelf. The books are caked in dried mud. Okay, I think we're gonna have to come to this Great War section once the librarian asks for it. Yeah, it's like they even had like DLC for like bikini outfits and stuff, and like, okay, this is a Japanese game, but is it scary though? I mean, it's a Koei Tecmo game, right? Oh, I have the book. I should take it back to that creature and see what it wants. I already got the book. I didn't notice. Sorry. Wasting my time here. So this thing doesn't even recognize us, but it's kind of guiding us towards these directions, and it wants the book. We give it the book, and I think it eats it. The music is coming from the book, and and I forget where I am. What am I doing here? Was I carrying something? Or perhaps it is that dream. It looked so much like this place. And we go again. Now what do you want, librarian? It is paying no attention to me whatsoever. It looks like it is trying to hear something else. Is it the war now? But what have you been playing lately, Sovereign Streams? It's been a while. I kind of been off the grid with everything. I haven't been game mastering, I haven't really been playing games, just doing the stream really. Doing HEMA. It sounds as if a battle was taking place right here, but I see nothing except books. Okay, we need a book about the Great War then. Join HEMA on Saturdays, Sovereign streams, but I know you do Warhammer though, so alas. It is coming from this book here. Got it. A map. Séchault, France. September 1918. They called us the Harlem Hellfighters. Hey, I played them in BF1. We took that village while bombs rained on us like fire from the sky. But we took so many casualties that we were taken off the line the very next day. So many of us never went back home. For better or for worse, the things I saw there made me who I am today. This cannot be a coincidence. The creature clearly wanted me to find it. I should bring it back and see what it wants, but it's just gonna devour my memories. I have the book on me. There seems to be nothing else of interest here. Fisher, we already saw that one. 2 strikes, Fisher. I do like that one though. Aggressive janitor. No worries, man. I've been playing Warhammer on the weekends and Tales of Arise. You know what? It's like I never got past the second world in Tales of Arise. I stopped at the second world, the second city. And then now, there's a Tales sale going on Steam. And I think it's now 60% off. If you've been thinking about Tales from Arise, you can get it now. I think it's 60% off on Steam. Yeah, let me know how HEMA goes for you, if you enjoy it. If you join us on Saturday, I'm still doing it every Saturday, which is why I was like super tired last night and why I had to adjust the stream schedule a bit to the evening. Warhammer Soulbound TRPG, my DM a shot, one shot, he goes. So you back, nice. Good to hear you're back in the GMing seat. If you ever left the GMing seat, I'm not sure if you're still DMing Star Wars or not, but let us know as well about Warhammer Soulbound. I was supposed to try out the one-shot as well with some friends, but we're just waiting for the right time for it. Yeah, and Lego Star Wars was pretty fun, the Skywalker Saga. Right, I was supposed to give the book. So why am I in this library? I did a ritual. I ended up in the Upside Down. It wants the book. I really want to see this creature. It looks like it has tentacles. And how it opens up. We can only imagine in this pixel art. And I forgot again. Now what? Up here, I guess? What's up here? Whispers. They seem to be coming from this corridor. Aha, whispers. I can barely make these titles out. They look like diaries and manuscripts. Okay. Which diary are we looking for? My diary? The whispers are coming from this book. There's a note inside. And not any note. That note. That furiously scribbled threat slipped into my mailbox one night. Always the stares, the murmurs uttered under their breath, or the jeers and the scoffs if they felt courageous enough. I can feel my blood boil just looking at it. Is this what it wants? To remind me why I am doing this? To strengthen my resolve? This must mean something. I have to bring it back to that creature. Yeah, I also wanna, like, we're gonna be playing Warhammer soon. We're gonna try it out. I'm gonna see how I like it. I've also been trying to push myself to study the One Ring RPG solo rules, and because I watched Cyberpunk Edge Runners recently, I owe some people like a Cyberpunk, the official Cyberpunk TRPG one shot. Like I have the starter set. I never ran it. It's been years since I ran anything. The last thing I ran was Terranoth, man. God. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm so out of it. Like, how do you even GM? How do you even learn a system anymore? Like, I look at a rule book and I'm like, eh. Hema right now, though, I prefer the longsword, but we've been doing a single sword, like saber, single stick. They're really focusing on it now because I think there's going to be a tournament on November 30. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make it to that tournament, but that's why they're focusing now on like single stick, single sword. But I want to learn more of the longsword. But at least some skills are transferable. I don't know. It's going to be like 1 month. November 30, I think, is a holiday. We'll see. If I have enough courage to do so, or if I even have the time to do so. It is a holiday, but for all I know, I might have a shoot then. But yeah, if you do join HEMA now, the coaches would suggest just throw yourself into the tournament to experience fighting another school, see what kind of training they undergo, and also to push yourself. So every day, every session, they make sure we spar at the end of it. A guided kind of sparring. They really call out like, your footwork is off, or stop pumping, and you're like, stop pumping your weapon. Use the core to swing. Like, we're always going like, the telegraphs are moved. No. All you have to do is tip the sword and then engage the core and then pack. And they see it and they whack the training dummy. And that's lethal. So what I appreciate about the HEMA lessons is they're not treating it like, not, how sport fencing has become, or taekwondo. Like in fencing, sport fencing, it's always who is first to tap you. Right? So you go like, tup, and then beep, if it's like electronics, if it's an electronic sensor, and you get the point if you do it first. But here, you rack up push-ups if you do double blows. Like, treat the weapon, treat the stick like a real sword. Hit and do not get hit. So it doesn't count if you like land a blow, but your opponent also lands a blow. Because, surprise, surprise, you're both dead. Push-ups. So they really focus on, you gotta give yourself an opening, and when you do strike, you can't just, yay, I hit him, and you stop there. No, you gotta hit him, then immediately like shift to a guard and parry the incoming blow. Because, if it is a real combat, let's say it's a zombie, let's say, I don't know, people go back to sword fighting, and your longsword training, at least you're trained not to like go for suicide blows or first stabs or first hits. It's hit the guy and don't get hit. Simple to say, difficult in practice, but fun to do. Anyway, you already sold on it. I hope you have fun with HEMA. If you do join earlier, let's try to go to the tournament on November 30, so I'm not like all alone. Yeah, dude, like, you play Warhammer, come on. But they have basic loaners, just the gloves are shit. So, like, for single stick, all you need is a set of motorcycle pads. And I think those are pretty cheap in like a motorcycle store. So that's hand and arm, knee and shin. You don't even need anything on the body. That's at least for the single stick training that we have. But of course, once you get to foils and heavier swords, a thick jacket and then just motorcycle pads. Like, you can get away with that. And the fencing helmet, they're like cheap variants for the fencing helmet. But of course, you want to get one that won't make you deaf when you get hit. Because your ears will ring with a cheap-ass fencing helmet. And if you get hit by like a wooden stick, your ears will ring and it can get damaged. So hell, you can get like a cheap kendo helmet or whatever. But I was surprised. Like, they were all like, everyone has a different configuration. Some people have like football shin guards. Alright, for last sparring, I had airsoft, like a knockoff airsoft knee and elbow pads and football shin guards. They're just whacking at each other. So you'll be fine. It can potentially be, of course, more expensive than Warhammer, but you do not have to chase after a codex. You do not have to update your units or, update your armies and whatnot. If you invest in a good foil, if you do so, they have rental weapons. If you invest in good HEMA gear, then that's like a one-time thing. Then it'll last you for how long you might do HEMA. Yes, Fisher, exactly. I learned that the hard way. Like last night, my ear was still ringing from sparring, because it is a pure like mesh net thing, and it doesn't do well if you're using wooden sticks, because like pam, and it's ringing. It's like having tinnitus. It's not good. So that's why I noticed the other people with their own helmets, it's cloth or well made. You don't want to joke about that, because there's also cheese grater effects where the synthetics can get grinded on the mesh, which can shoot splinters into your eyes. So potential injury there. Comes with the territory. But that's why, yes, you want affordable gear, but also don't go super cheap that you risk your own health. Now I want to play a HEMA game. Let's play Chivalry 2 after this. Or Hellish Quart, but that's an early access. I brought you another book thing, and now I forget again. Now what? Okay, I got the baby book. I got the Whispers. Here? No, fortunately, Fisher, it was temporary. Like, it's not ringing anymore. But, like, after training, hell, while I was streaming, like, the ringing, of course, I didn't hear the ringing over the game audio, but I was so thrown off for the whole evening. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna invest in a better helmet. Have I been here before? It feels like they would crumble if I were to touch them. Some of these books seem new, as if someone was still replenishing the shelves. I hear crying! Who is that? It sounds more and more familiar the closer I get. Yeah, it's like I already had to move my stream on Saturday, Sovereign streams. It's like I already have HEMA in the afternoon. I finish at like 7 and I'm super wiped out. And I'm sweaty and I have to go home and shower and stuff. And I have like super low on energy. Once I get my fitness level a bit better, I might, of course, have more energy after HEMA to like go out and socialize and play Warhammer. Then again, I'd only just borrow units or to try it out, because like I invested a hell lot into X-Wing. I loved X-Wing, but I don't play X-Wing anymore. And now my figures, they're super pretty, but they're just like standing around. Armada, I also invested a lot in Armada, Star Wars Armada, but I don't play with them anymore, sadly. Oh my god, Fisher. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, I feel like something was damaged, Fisher. It's... Yeah, it's a cheap ass helmet. So, before the next session, I really need a better helmet. I'd love to get into Legion. But that, of course, it's not pre-assembled and not pre-painted. Like, yeah, call me a noob or whatever, But one of the biggest selling points for me for X-Wing and Armada was the fact that they were already assembled and painted really well. Like they looked like they came straight out of the film sets. Like, I'm not gonna lie, X-Wing and Armada have amazing miniatures. Legion, however, you need to assemble it and paint it on your own, which I have no experience in. And also, I have no idea who still plays Legion or if it's even supported here in the Philippines. But at least you guys in Warhammer, you're getting more recognized. It's a bigger community. So practically, it might be better to like stick to Warhammer. But maybe you could have like a small army for Legion as an off game, maybe. And then you sink deeper into the rabbit hole, Sovereign Streams. And then I wish you the best. There goes your paychecks. Because hey, that new unit came out based on Andor. By the way, I'm hearing amazing things from Andor. I'm waiting for the series to finish, then I'm gonna binge the hell out of it. But again, Rogue One is still one of my top Star Wars films. After Empire, it is Rogue One for me. And I'm super excited for Andor. Andor might make me want to run an Age of Rebellion campaign. A New Hope. So yours is A New Hope at the top. Yeah, mine is Empire and Rogue One. In fact, depending on my mood, I'm like, if I'm feeling Jedi, I go, of course, Empire. If I'm feeling, trooper on the ground, blaster in hand, military, fantasy, Rogue One. It's so good. And the fact that the Rogue One team worked on Andor, I'm super excited for it. Yeah, of course, Sovereign Streams. I didn't even have to ask. There will be a slot. Like, I keep telling myself, if and when I eventually get back to the Game Master seat, once I gain a bit more courage and experience, and I remember how to Game Master, because I'm going to do a few private one-shots here and there, I do want to run more games on my Discord server. And eventually, the dream is, of course, like an actual play series on Twitch/YouTube, and eventually adapt that into like animated films and feature films. Like, wouldn't that be awesome? If you give me the team and an unlimited budget, it feels like I just want to do everything. But that's the dream. And right now, starting small, didn't expect the stream to grow like this. Really grateful for all the support and a lot of regular people dropping by. I just really hope to make good on the promises. I will forever feel guilty and like I'm not doing enough, but people seem to be enjoying it, so I just gotta believe in that. I don't wanna let people down. Simple as that. Yeah, and honestly, Sovereign Streams, going back to like Age of Rebellion, honestly, I have not found a system yet that has captured me in the same way as Genesis. We played a Star Wars campaign, and then we played a Dragon Age Inquisition in Spirit game using the same narrative dice system, and it works for science fiction and fantasy. And we had even a cyberpunk one-shot using the narrative dice system. And then you had like gritty, dark fantasy, military combat with the undead on all different levels, with negotiating with the undead, with planning tactics, social encounters. And yet, the narrative dice system for me is still... I love it. I really hope they never drop support for it. It's really hard for me to play other systems. Like Blades in the Dark, I do like it. I do like Forge in the Dark. But for me, nothing comes close to the narrative dice system yet. There's a letter inside. This envelope, this handwriting. I don't even need to open it. I'm sorry, Eunice. You deserved so much more. But New York felt like the place I needed to be after the war. I was so wrong. I wish I could undo all the pain I caused you. Did the creature want me to find this? Is it trying to tell me something? I guess there's only one way to know. I have the book with the letter. I need to take them back to that creature. So collecting all these books is basically, this is the library of Jordan Samuels' past, or pasts, or different selves, or whatever, different points in time. And this places a convergence mentioned by that creature, but to what end? I will give it the book. We left Eunice thinking that we were going to make it in New York, but instead, we were just oppressed. Yeah, and I'll never get over the fact that even though lightsabers are so terrifyingly powerful in that game, with like Breach 1, somehow it still works. Somehow you can still pull off the scenes you'd see in the movies and the series and Clone Wars and stuff like that, right? It's just, it emulates it so well. And this system, which was made for Star Wars, somehow it also works in other settings aside from Star Wars. I love it. And then you could have like, it's like your ultimate sandbox. You can have like Darth, literally I made, you know, I used Darth Vader's stats and meshed it with other stats to make like Wykar in Terranoth, right? And then just, I gave him like a lightsaber reskinned or force powers reskinned, and it still worked. Oh, you are that. Oh, okay. This is the Great War. Where am I? How did I get here? I can't remember anything. Who am I? Dear Lord, what happened here? A crater and a dead soldier's remains. Did a battle take place here? A soldier's corpse. Where have I seen this banner before? It looks so familiar. Isn't this the in World War I, that black unit? Well, one of them, Harlem's. I'm looking for it. Harlem Hellfighters. Well, that's where Jordan is from. No, Harlem Hellfighters from World War I. But I'm not sure what this flag is. Looks like a makeshift infirmary. I'm somehow familiar with these kits. I'm a doctor, so maybe I was a medic? The bell tower has been blown to smithereens. This place must have sustained a terrible bombing. Bloody sheets and what seem to be corpses. This must be an improvised field hospital. There is some dirty rainwater pooled up in the basin. Bloodied white sheet is covering a body. I was thinking, it's like Canada, messed up Canadian flag. Reverend Williams. Is he my neighbor? Mrs. Williams. Dr. Samuels. Welcome to the Chapel Perilous. I've been waiting for you. Do I know you? Apologies, I seem to have... What did you call me? It's alright. I know what you've done. It's all gone now. Your name. But yes, you do know me. You did a good thing for me once. Did I? Yes. And never for a moment did you hesitate. You took the fire of divinity into your hands and acted with the certainty of a thunderbolt. Life and death laid bare before you. Such a sight to behold. That sounds arrogant of me. It is not your arrogance, but your kindness. You suffered with me, and my pain was yours. But this soul of yours, this kindness, you need it for another purpose. This fire must be wielded again. The Guardian? Ah, you still remember. Yes, the Guardian. Like the texts say, I must become a perfect and glorious being, or fall a prey to corruption. And should this occur, I would drag thee also down with me into a dark and corrupt world. And you do also remember what brought you here, don't you? Yes, I came here seeking revenge. Yes, and yet it is also said that my threshold is fashioned out of all the dread of the strength needed to take full responsibility for all thy thoughts and actions. Many years ago, you did not take full responsibility for your thoughts and actions. This has been a burden. Today, you must free yourself of this burden of bygone lives. Look around you. You abandoned these men. You left them to suffer and die in great pain and agony. You were young then. You didn't know better. Now is the time to rectify that. Free them, Dr. Samuels, like you freed me. And I will hear your confession once your dues are paid. So Williams in the real world, he had terminal illness, he had tuberculosis, he was going to die. So we gave him his last dose of morphine. A gauze bandage is covering his eyes. Good Lord, his hands. Only an explosion could have done this. He seems to be in shock. Soldier, can you hear me? My name is... I am a doctor. Doctor. Not here. Left. He left. Not here. He has been blinded by shrapnel. He's holding on to a pillow. What is your name, soldier? Shh. Sleep. If I could just sleep. Doctor said he'd make me sleep. He said he would come back, help me sleep, but he left. Shh. Oh no. He's been blinded by shrapnel. His hands have been blown off almost completely, and he's delirious with fever. Without antibiotics, he will surely die in a matter of hours, or days if he's unfortunate. He's holding onto a pillow, grabbing it with all his strength. The pain must be unbearable. Leave. Baptismal font. There's some dirty rainwater pooled up in the basin. What do I do? Medical supplies? Oh shit, someone lost his legs too. There might be something useful here. Morphine? A jar with some opium pills. 8, maybe 10? They must have been here for a very long time. Opium in tablet form is not very common anymore. If that is the case, they have probably lost a great deal of their potency. I will need to use all of them if I want to. Why do I remember all this? There's nothing left to use here. Did I just grant them all mercy and I left them all behind? Cure them. Make them pass on. Well, if it isn't Dr. Jordan Samuels himself. So I have been told, but I have no memory of my name or what I did to get here. Do I know you? Oh, I do know you. Yes, Doctor. I remember you. I can't ever forget you. Been here so many times. I've done this so many times. Over and over, waiting here, hoping that you will bring me a bullet so I can blow my fucking brains out. And you just walk away every time. You walk away saying you will help me, and you never look back, you bastard. I am sorry. I am so very sorry. I cannot remember any of these things. You're always sorry, Doctor. Have you talked to Shane this time? Quite the nervous fella, ain't he? Oh, his name's Shane. He remembers everything, over and over. He just wants to sleep, the poor guy. But he can't forget you either. And Jim? Seen him yet? Doesn't talk much, that one. Only moan sometimes. When he's unlucky enough to drift back to the surface. I'm sure he remembers too. I'm sure in that blackness of his, there's a name echoing again and again. Damn. His legs. He must have stepped on a landmine. He's waving a gun around. Please, soldier, hand me over that gun. I promise I will help you. Wouldn't you like for me to do that? Again. Not a chance, Doctor. Get me a bullet, and I'll take care of it myself. And what is your name? Name's Luke, Doc. Lucky Luke, they used to call me. Not anymore, I guess. Luke, Say, Doc, what do you think will get me first? The gangrene or the infection? Just kidding. I already know. It has happened so many times. Always the same way. Not gonna be any different now, is it? So the multiple me's, the failed me's. Oh yeah, Big B, I heard that I saw in your tweet that you're going to be playing The Ascent. I've had it in my library since launch. I regret buying it early because I had no one to play it with. And I thought it'd be good for single player. I played like the first 30 minutes of it, but I never bothered to continue it. Have you been enjoying it? I don't even have the DLC, and I think there's DLC out, right? You know, I feel like it'd be a good game just to like unwind and like shoot things. That sounds really bad, but a good game to unwind and just de-stress. And what is that? It looks like a flask. Oh. So I have a lot of opiates to probably give to Shane. But what about everything else? Soldier. Are you gonna be streaming it, Big B? Anytime soon? Have you streamed it already? It is supposed to be tonight, right? I might be getting my details mixed up. Half his jaw has been shot off. Oh. Half his jaw has been shot off. He's alive somehow, but barely conscious. He will not be able to swallow these pills in his condition. He is also bleeding from his stomach. But this is not a gunshot. He must have tripped when he was shot and fallen on a piece of metal or a fence. I cannot even begin to imagine his agony. So I have to get the bullet from him. He's wearing an ammo belt. Maybe there's some ammunition left in it. But I will not take it and leave him like this. I need to find a way to help him first. I'm sorry. I've been told what I did, even though I cannot remember. But I will not walk away this time. So I have a flask. Let's give the opiates to Shane. Some water will help him swallow the pills. But I need a container of some sort. Right. Flask. There, flask. Canteen. An empty canteen. Put the canteen in the baptismal font. Did you play it single player, Big B? Or did you have like a full party? This will have to do. And give it to soldier. Here, soldier. You can sleep now. I am sorry for having kept you here so long. Oh God, you're like an angel of death. Farewell. I hope the pain is finally over. This also connects to what he did in life. Like the Williams, the reverend he talked to. He was the one that, William has tuberculosis. We gave him enough opiates, enough morphine to, well, pass on peacefully. Only ashes remain. And his pillow. Oh no. We're gonna smother someone with a pillow? Is that what's gonna happen? He will no longer need this. Okay. Jeez. Yeah, Fisher, I was thinking of that as well. Wow. It is time to go home, soldier. Wow. The music too. Is this holy? I could take these bullets now. Goodbye, Jim. A handful of ashes. Okay, I have the bullets. I found what you wanted. Well, I'll be damned. Thank you, Doctor. Never thought the day would come. Now, you might want to step back a bit. Jesus. I hope you found your peace at last. Damn. Confession time. It is done. I am ready, Reverend. So they I made myself erase my memories and go through all of this. Glory be to the Father, and to the Son, and to the Holy Spirit. Is there anything you wish to confess? So I can face the Guardian with no fear and doubt in my mind. I don't know. I just killed 3 men. I should feel something. Relief, guilt, horror, pride. Anything. But the only thing I feel is empty. Hollowed out. I am so tired. How long has this been going on? How long have I been here? Worry not. You've done well. How? What does that mean? It doesn't matter now. We're almost there, Doctor. There is but one more trial ahead of you. You shall finally come face to face with the Guardian. But what is the point? I remember nothing. Not even who I was. What will I ask? What do I want? You need only remember this. You created the Guardian the first time you ever made a choice. You've been feeding him ever since, with every action, every decision, every act of charity, every lustful thought, every life saved. Everything you are, he is too. If your soul is corrupt, so is he. And everything you've given up, you'll need to take back from him. Only after confronting him will you be able to cross the threshold. But fear not, you will understand soon enough. Now, go. Okay, we're back in the operating room.
Dr. Samuels, so glad you made it. The boys and I have been waiting for you. You must be so excited. Oh, to cross the threshold at last. You have given so much. So much. But let's not waste time, shall we? I think you know what to do by now. Oh, no, don't bother. There's nothing left of you but flesh. We are your voice now, and you shall speak only through us. Now pay attention.
I have given my mind to the waters.
Repeat now, Doctor.
I have given my mind to the... Where's waters? Waters.
Excellent. Peel the first layer now. And listen carefully.
Oh shit, I really have to pay attention. Sorry, chat. I have consigned my soul to the
flames. Repeat, Doctor.
I have consigned my soul to the flames.
Good. Now, the second layer. Take that scalpel and go ahead. Go ahead. Do it. Do it now.
What the fuck?
Now listen once more.
I now surrender my flesh to the blade.
Repeat, Doctor. Excellent. Now, the retractor. Stretch the skin. Open the yawning gate. The hungry void awaits. Now listen, one last time.
And I offer my blood to the
mirror. Repeat, Doctor. Repeat!
And I offer my blood to the mirror.
Yes. You know what to do. You know what to do. Open the threshold. Open the path to the guardian. Become the empty, yawning void.
I just kill myself. And that's how I end up on the train. Okay. Jesus, so... Who goes there? Oh, oh. Ah, the Hollow One. At last. It feels like I have been stuck here for an eternity. Very well then. Let us get this over with already. Exist no more now. Yes. Yes. At last. What is going on? Fisher, yes. I played and finished Catherine. But not the I played the updated one with what's his name? The other romance option. Full body, Catherine full body. Fun game, if a bit, well, not a bit, if transphobic. No, well, he's shocked at first. Well, I'm not gonna spoil it too much. But it is a possible romance option. I'm just not sure how far it can go. But yeah, Catherine, of course, Atlas has its fair share. Atlas has its fair share of really outdated ways of thinking and writing, and some problematic writing as well, like in Persona games. Like in Royal, they tried to rewrite the two gay characters in the game, which they used as a butt of a joke, and they were like literally like harassing Ryuji, right? So they rewrote them in Royal, but didn't go all the way. And stuff like that. Atlas still needs to get updated with the times. But yeah, Catherine Full Body had some pretty yikes moments. But overall, the game was decent. Just, the protagonist is not perfect. He can be a bit of he can be a huge asshole depending on how you play him, right? And how you treat the other Catherines. So yeah. It is in the hands of the player for most of it. But hey, would you look at that? We have successfully killed ourself, or a hollowed out version of the self. Is this everything we are then? And then what? I should not cross without that invitation. Where did I? Oh, this is how we entered. Oh, I guess we did kill ourselves. It's just, this is how we imagined his crossing. Time to get out of here. He's already wearing the mask. Alright, time for the last story. I remember nothing after that. Well, that's quite a story. The question is, where are we now? Whether this is yet another test, for me, for all of us. Oh my, what an idea. Look around you, Dr. Samuels. The only thing that is being put to the test here is how many glasses of champagne one can drink. Layla, could I have a word? Please excuse me, if you will. Is Layla like wearing a skull? As I was saying. Say, is it getting hot here? It does feel like it. Oh. Hades? Charon? What are you doing mingling with the humans? Are you tricking them again into telling you their stories? Ha! So this is the train. It is the train to the afterlife. You know I can't help it. And you know it's not allowed. What do you find so fascinating about them anyway? I don't know. I wonder how it feels for them, I guess. The pain, the constant struggle, dying alone and forgotten, by their own hand even. But we can't mingle. And we can't allow ourselves to... Wait, what did you mean by that? By what? By their own hand even. If that's true, they should be at the back of the train. What are they doing here? I was wondering about that. Like, is this a good place for them to be? Given, you know, I don't know. They just told me. You heard? No, there's something else here. Don't tell me you invited them personally. Please, don't tell anybody. Oh, you gave them masks. You said invitations. You collected them. You can't do this. They were meant for below. You know how strict the numbers are. Are you insane? You know, suicides go to hell, right? That's what they say. These ones deserved it. You should have heard what they went through. That is not your call to make. I know. I'm really sorry. It won't happen again, I swear. Oh, for the glory of... Alright. I won't say anything. Please don't do this ever again. They were meant for below. We're still going below, just a little less deep for them. Eligible for the redemption lottery every 144,000 years even? Maybe never. It's still a better chance than what they had up there. Please. I just wanted to hear their stories. Layla. You're going to get us sent to the swamps one day. Oh. Wow, that is it. Is there another one? I thought we could get to play as Layla. Well, yeah, this is a free game. I'm not sure what they were like. I don't know if they were pitching it, or if this is supposed to be like a pitch for a bigger thing, or if it was just like a, hey, we released this game for free. It's like a short story. Yeah. A death blow is a life blow to some, who, till they died, did not alive become. Who, had they lived, had died, but when they died, vitality begun. Emily Dickinson. Yeah, me being raised, the Philippines being a dominantly Roman Catholic country, of course, growing up, they say, oh, if you take your own life, you're going to hell. That never really sat right with me. Like, I never, like, if there was a heaven and a hell. Like Layla, it's like, what's your story, child? Why did you take your own life? And Layla's risking their entire station, inviting people she believes didn't deserve to go to the lowest levels of hell, because society was such a bitch to these people and pushed them to suicide. Like, it's Layla's way of ensuring some justice is done. And like she said, yes, we're still going below, but not that low. And besides, they'd probably have a better chance here in hell than up there in heaven. You know, given, like, imagine if these people who kill themselves, they get sent up to heaven, And given the dogmatic teachings of some people, that's not going to end well for them. So, yeah. No, there's supposed to be 4 stories. Let me check. But that concludes our first playthrough, I think. Uh, yeah, I kind of liked where it was intentional. Like I was wondering, like these people, like it so much, like they've suffered for under society. Like these people got really dealt a shitty hand, and they were taking their own lives. And I was wondering, oh, so this train, like I'm seeing a pattern here. It's all about us or people going through desperate means, or and just society breaking them to the point of them taking their own lives. And Layla simply asking, do they deserve to go to the deepest depths of hell for that? So that's why Layla sent us those masks and those invitations. So that is the real part of that, right? And yeah, and like Layla's last words to them as well. Like, well, not last words, but before leaving to talk to, I guess, Charon or Hades. I'm not sure. I guess Charon. If it's the train, it's the train to hell. I'm not sure. I guess it's Charon. But the flaming head, I don't know. Anyway, point is, she was telling them, oh, it's nothing to worry about. Right now, enjoy the ride, drink as much as you can, and welcome to hell. And it's a chance for them to start again. It's a chance for them to find their place and have some measure of justice done to them. Because heaven ain't gonna do it. So I get it. I get it. Like, the mortal realm was hell for them, right? The mortal realm was hell for them, and they escaped that hell. And where are they now? Of course, I'd never advocate for. For me, it's always a tragedy when someone takes their own lives, and it's something I would never, ever like encourage at all, or I don't think I'll ever agree with it. It's easy to say that, but it is a real problem, and it is super unfair. It's always tragic and unfair, and like it just brought to mind exactly. And it brought to mind why drag them through hell twice. That's a simple story. This is a simple point of the story, and it also reminded me, like, God, how backwards so many religious people are in terms of matters like this. Like they just brought to mind this celebrity. I think it's a local celebrity, and she was asked. She was asked. So what happens? Like, do people who don't believe? What happens to people who don't believe in Jesus? Can they be saved? And then she straight with a straight face said, "No. If they don't believe in Jesus, they go to hell." And the whole internet, of course, when they saw this interview, even the interviewer himself also like laughed. Like he had to try and like, holy shit, girl. Like she totally missed the point. Like even God would be laughing at it. Even the people who actually bothered to study the teachings of Jesus and the church or whatever, they would also be laughing in their seats and shaking their heads, because like, Jesus fucking Christ, girl, did you miss the part that God said that everyone deserves to be saved and receives his mercy? It's like, I'm not even religious, but wasn't that the whole point of Jesus? Like, I don't fucking care if you're a believer or not. I'm here to help you out, and I want you to be saved. That's it. But we have people. We have actual people. Like I was reminded of her This game reminded me of her because I'm pretty sure she'd be that kind of person that says, "Ah, that person killed himself. He's going to hell." And I'd be like, "What? Wow. Like wow. Un Unbelievable." And well, this is a short and sweet game. If in a winter's night for travelers, I never actually thought about that until I played this game. Like that summarizes it. That definitely summarizes it, Fisher. The big question of this game. They intentionally, like, I was wondering, man, these stories I'm experiencing are so freaking extreme. Like, it's so sad. It's just like a depressive trip. And then each story ends with them taking their own lives. And the whole point was like, this was hell for them. And they needed a way out. While you may not agree with it, that is the way out that they chose. They did it. And then now it's like, if there was an afterlife, here's Layla. And I like how in the end they suggested that she and, if that's Charon or Hades or whoever that person's supposed to represent, the train master, uh she put arm in arm. So they're like, "Oh, just let this slide, dear. I know you agree with me." Like, and he was also business minded, right? The man, he was also like with a flaming head. He's like, you know the capacity. Like, we don't have enough people to like, like hell has its limits as well. So if we were to explore the entire mythos of hell in this universe, right? It's like, that's why there's a system here. That's why we can't have. That's why these people go to this level of hell and these people go to that level. Because if you all have them going, if you invite everyone to like the shallower level, then it's gonna go over capacity. Like, think about that, Layla. But I liked how Layla was like, "Oh dear, just I promise I'll never do it again." But I'm pretty sure she does this. Pretty sure Layla does this a lot. That's why Layla was sitting there in that in that car, right? She's just like, "Hello, dear. How are you doing? What do you remember?" She wanted their stories because she knew, and she was the one sending those masks and invitations. Like, no one was gonna be there for these people, but Layla was, and Layla's not even human. That's really sad. It's like these people were already so alone and so, like, most of them were like so alone or felt so alone that they had felt no recourse but to just end it all and just feel like they wanted to free themselves. And that's it. And Layla, she did what she could. She's like, these people are going to hell. I want to try and give them a new start. So enjoy the drinks, enjoy the ride, and honey, don't worry, this is a new start for you. So my headcanon is, like, you saw them, they were, I like also the touch when Layla was moving across to the other cart, and then the three people we play, the three protagonists, started talking to each other, right? It's like, oh, and they start, I'm in my headcanon, it's like they're introduced to each other, and maybe they start talking about it, like, yeah, man, like, my gay lover, I accidentally killed him because, society got to him, etc., etc. The other girl, my husband died, and I drowned my cat because I went a bit in a moment of insanity, and that drove me further insane. And the world forgot about me and treated me like an object to be won. And then Jordan Samuels is like, I thought I could move to New York to be a doctor, but because my skin is black, I was, you know, discriminated against and segregated. And they're together in this train, and they're not the only ones. Now they can toast and like, this is another chance to living. And here, where people see no skin color, no um moneyed woman to be betrothed and won, and you can love anyone you want to love because love is love. And that was what, for me, that's what the masks represent. Them coming in, give it a mask to this ball. You have your mask. And that is all that matters. Ain't no one gonna try to lift that up and judge you for what's under. There's a chance to start anew. That is your new face. This is your new life. So yeah, it's short but sweet. And there's a lot you can draw from this, even though it's like a very like it's not the deepest of things, right? But it doesn't have to be. If it's a decent story that's told that reflects certain realities and that I'm able to get certain things from this, like I get it. I get it. You know, yeah, it's always that. I mean, having acquaintances who have, taken their own lives, it is just so infuriating when people say that they would end up in hell. It's like I will never understand that. Anyway, that was If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. I do not think there's a fourth one because it says here there are four. So the Nameless Ritual is what we did, and If on a Winter's Night, it's as much as Layla enjoys her job, sometimes she yearns for a bit of variety to distract her from her daily routine. Even if it means going against her very powerful boss's orders. So she's going up against like Charon and Hades and the whole underworld pantheon. But imagine that. It's just two people. Laura Hunt for coding, writing, music, and sound design, and Thomas Mooring for art, animations, and the cutscenes. This is a two-person game, and it's free. I don't know what else they made or why they made this. But I guess it's a great thing to show potential clients, right? Like it's like getting your foot in the door, I guess. Like if they ever decide to pitch, like, hey, I made this game, check it out. It's free and it showcases my writing and like Thomas's art. But I'm gonna check some discussions now about does anyone know what Act 3 means? Why was Samuel killed by the Guardian? Guardian was Samuel. He is the Guardian. He was always going to be the Guardian. Oh, some discussions here. Like the chapter felt a bit like Jacob's Ladder. You're playing them while they are dying. All deaths are slow ones, facing their own demons. Yeah. Yeah, like Jordan was a World War One vet. He had trauma and he thought he could find a better life in New York, but he just ended up in another hell. How long is the game? 90 minutes to 2 hours. Above 2 hours. Okay, Layla. I want to check if there's something we have to do to like unlock Layla's thing, or if that was Layla's already. The cutscene was that Layla's story. Layla. Okay, let's see if we can Google Foo this. If on a winter's night for travelers, Layla chapter. Guide. It's pretty linear, and I don't think there are like multiple endings, so that's probably the end. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, The Nameless Ritual. That's it. Yeah, for the last trial, the people will say a phrase, and you have to click the people in the same order. This will be done 3 times. Then it ends, exit the room, you'll meet yourself. Take invitation in the bed and enter mirror. You'll be in the train again for the epilogue of the game. So that officially concludes it. And just curious, what did we get? How many achievements did we get? I think I have time for Dagon. I was actually planning to include Dagon because this game I thought was pretty short. And Dagon's like 30 minutes. Dagon is a first-person adaptation of the short story Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. 8 out of 15? What did I miss? Call Patrick a cab. So, calling Patrick give Patrick back his watch. Did I ever have a chance to give back his watch? Examine all the shelves in the library. We missed that. Crap. Then 4 hidden achievements. Alright. Not bad. I enjoyed it. Oh my god. I totally missed out on that. Fisher, I never grew up on Bleach. I never grew up on Naruto. I never grew up on One Piece. So all those huge, like, the anime, quote unquote, everyone should have watched or should be watching. I understand it's a huge thing for Bleach, the return of Bleach and the end of One Piece, because One Piece is going to be ending soon, right? And it's like, it feels like such a huge moment, a momentous occasion, decades in the making, and I won't be able to be a part of that. So like, I couldn't, it's like Bleach, I never watched Bleach. So if you are a Bleach fan, I hope the first episode is doing really well for you. I gotta say though, I did just watch Chainsaw Man. I never read the manga. First episode is good. Soon-ish, but it's still a few more years. Yeah, and like when I look at I look at the backlog of it, and if I want to watch the anime, and like, oh, you want me to watch like the thousands of One Piece episodes and catch up for the, I was tempted to do that because I felt like I wanted to jump on the bandwagon, and imagine that the month One Piece ends. Well, no, the manga's gonna end first, so I should probably read the manga. Whatever. But let's say the One Piece anime will end this month. It's gonna be like pretty sure it's gonna go really viral and be trending. I don't know, Sovereign Streams. Naruto, I don't know. I grew up with Animax. I was watching Slam Dunk, GTO, Flame of Recca, Yu Yu Hakusho, Rurouni Kenshin, but not Naruto. I don't. Maybe did we even have Naruto on our channels? Did we even have Bleach in our channels? Because I don't remember those anime in AXN or Animax. Oh, it's just 1036, Fisher. I stopped at 200-ish, okay? For the life of me, I'll never figure out why I never watched Naruto or One Piece Sovereign streams. On Animax, it is all those like Slam Dunk, GTO, etc., Rurouni Kenshin, and Ghost in the Shell eventually. Like Ghost in the Shell was the last anime I remember watching on Animax. Yeah, like all of that. Like I'm glad I was able to watch those. Hell, I watched the Yu Yu Hakusho Tagalog dub, the Filipino dub. So I lived to that point. I was alive at that point to experience that. So to me, Yu Yu Hakusho is in Filipino. Is in Tagalog specifically. And GTO and Rurouni Kenshin, English dubbing was great in Rurouni Kenshin, but I think the other animes in Animax, I think Animax or AXN, I think they had their, back then, when English dubbing wasn't really up to the same standards. I think it was like the same voice, the same dubbers. So I don't know. It was just not that good, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I was a kid. I enjoyed it. All right. So. Oh. I'm wondering if I should play Dagon or if I should save it for another time. I think I'll leave it here. Dagon and Call of the Sea might be lined up. Potionomics is coming out soon. I don't know if Potionomics is out yet. See, Tales of Arise is 60% off already. It's like, I told myself back then, maybe I should just wait for a sale. And here it is. 1 year later, it is 60% off. And I had not even finished. I'm not even halfway through Tales of Arise. I stopped right before Robin's arc. I think they just met Robin. And that's where I stopped, I think. What other cool stuff are there? But that basically concludes it. People have been talking about Scorn, but it's getting mixed reviews. Like 70%, but it looks super interesting. It's an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. See, like, damn. It really reminds me of something like Alien or something. People have been mentioning Geiger. I believe I double checked before, and it's around Water 7 arc, and that is where most people really get into the series. I think that's what I was told. I think they were saying, man, you're just getting to the arc. That I think this is the arc they were talking about. Like, there's that arc that they say once you get there, you're never gonna want to stop, or something like that. I already have a hard time keeping up with other series. But yeah, this is super mixed reviews. I'm not sure if I want to get it. Maybe I'll just wind down with some asterigos. Am I gonna stay up until 6 a.m. again? I don't know. But thank you for tuning in, everyone, and being here at this late hour. Well, it's for the Philippines, but for everyone else, whatever time zone it is, I do appreciate your presence and your company. I did enjoy that. I do recommend this game. It is free, if on a winter's night, for travelers. A nice little throwback. But I'm gonna have to wrap it up there. It took me 4 years of on again, off again watching it. Yeah, that's how it is, right? Because you don't want to get burnt out as well. You can only watch so many episodes a day. Alright. Well, I'm gonna officially... Wait, should I... You know, I also just realized something. Like, you know how I usually, like, if I want to change games for the stream, I, like, stop the whole stream. When I realized, I could have just stopped the recording. Like, cut! And then just record again for the next game as I change the details. It's like, why do I have to, like, disconnect from the stream and everything? Thank you so much, Fisher. I hope your head didn't hurt this time. Despite, like, what happened yesterday, I'm not sure what was wrong with the game. But we are done with it. And next week, I will be playing... I think Saturday will be out... I think next weekend will be Outlast. I really want something to scare me, alright? I need something that'll scare the shit out of me that I already have in my library. So... there's so many unplayed stuff in my library, and Outlast was one of them. And Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I'm not sure. Because Amnesia... Amnesia: The Dark Descent was, I think Amnesia was the one that helped kickstart the revival of actual survival horror, where you were always outclassed, you could not fight the enemy, and you had to run and hide. I think Amnesia really helped start that. So it's pretty much a classic at this point. And there is a sequel. So, and Soma. I don't have Soma. Do I have Soma? Actually, do I have Soma on Epic Games? I'm not sure. I'll check it out. But Outlast also has a sequel, and Outlast is gonna have another sequel. So it might be a good time to get into Outlast. However, Do I even have Soma? Soma from the makers of Amnesia: The Dark Descent, which is like super horror Bioshock. I also heard that it is super scary. Yeah, Outlast. It's like gonna be an open. Well, I think it's gonna be like an open world kind of thing. I'll check it out. I want to double check. I don't want to misinform people. Well, thank you, Fisher, for going through all that. It is done. No more head hurting for you. Until the next game. Hopefully the other games won't hurt. Yeah, here. Outlast Trials, I believe. Here. It is a third installment in the Outlast series, serving as a prequel to the first two games and features test subjects in a mysterious Cold War experiment. It is scheduled for release in 2022, and let's check out the preview for that. I'm not sure. I don't think it's open world. Let me try. Outlast Trials. Here. Red Barrels invites you to experience mind-numbing terror, this time with friends. Okay. Whether you go through the trials alone or in teams, if you survive long enough and complete the therapy, Murkoff will happily let you leave, but will you be the same? So, set in the era of Cold War, human guinea pigs are involuntarily recruited by the good folks of the Murkoff Corporation, all in the name of progress. It is solo or co-op, so that kind of removes a lot of the horror a bit, I think. Because you can play with up to 4 players. Welcome back, Vanua. Multiplayer Outlast. Okay, so I guess it's not like a straight up like sequel. It's a multiplayer spin-off. Open hide or flight. In pure Outlast fashion, the core gameplay involves avoiding enemies, hiding from them, and trying to run away. I don't think it's open world. Sorry, it doesn't seem like it's open world. Outlast Trials. We're just talking about it. We finished the game, Vanua. Not bad. I did like the message in the end of if on a winter's night for travelers. I think it wrapped up quite well. It had a simple message to say, and it is it's a good short story. I enjoyed it. If you ever feel like playing it, it is free on Steam. And it's made by 2 people. It's pretty amazing. What is this? So character customization. Choose your tools, upgrades, perks. Alright, so this is like a multiplayer spin-off. Investigate. You've been abducted by the Murkoff to undergo unethical blah blah blah. Collect documents and items that help prove Murkoff's malpractice. So it seems like I don't know. I guess they were inspired by Phasmophobia. So yeah. It's not Outlast 3, right? It's Outlast Trials. So I don't have Outlast 2 or the Whistleblower DLC. I do have this. I've never played it because I got too scared. So it's that. I'm not sure if I want to play Outlast or Amnesia though. I'm gonna have to decide for next week. Other than that, definitely Potionomics will be on the slate for next week. Next week will be Bayonetta 3. It's not yet on sale. Come on. I don't think we can pre-order. It's fine. I'm gonna get the deluxe edition anyway because I want the soundtrack and I want the art book. I don't think it's something I'm gonna play. Also, Fisher, multiplayer games are tough for me now because I don't have a static. Static being like a regular team of players. Like I used to. Like I was in some gaming clans, but they kind of drifted apart. So I don't really have any static group for multiplayer focused games like GTFO, Back for Blood. You know, the last time I had a static was like Left 4 Dead. Pathologic, I do not have it. I'm not sure if I wanna... Like, I'm also thinking... next weekend, it's either Outlast or Amnesia because I already have it in my library. Or if Fatal Frame goes on sale. It's not yet on sale. So I'm waiting. If it will ever go on sale, Maiden of Black Water. Still waiting. Still waiting. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. That's all I got for you today. I'm just wrapping up the stream now. I think I will go ahead and rest. And I'm going to be playing a combination of Dagon and Call of the Sea, which is actually like Lovecraftian inspired. It is my bad. I put it in my social media post that If on a Winter's Night was like Lovecraftian, but it is just me assuming because of the 1920 setting and the trailer, which made it look like, you know, occult horror kind of stuff, occult horror stuff. That is my mistake. But Dagon and Call of the Sea are actually like, you know, Lovecraftian inspired. So I'm waiting for the time to play these two. Why these two? Because Dagon is only 30 minutes. And I've never read the short story before. So this will be my first exposure to Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. So I'm not sure if I want to play this before Call of the Sea or if I should play it like right now. I should probably like make the proper announcement so other people in my feed will probably know, because I think some people in my circles are interested in shit like this, like Dagon, Call of Cthulhu stuff. So I might do a Dagon thing and then follow it up with Call of the Sea. Super excited for Call of the Sea, actually. Yeah, I'm just talking about my schedule next week. Aside from Potionomics, and I'm also not sure if I should continue Asterigos or if I should like replace Asterigos with Outlast. Like, I'm wondering if Thursday should be scare the shit out of myself, because Thursday will be awkward stream timing, because I think my games are back for Thursday evenings my time. So not many people will be able to make it. Damn it. I'll figure it out, chat. It's not your problem. It is mine. But those are the stuff you might have to look forward to. I already installed it. I already installed Outlast. I already installed Dagon. Call of the Sea. Asterigos. I'm actually not sure if I should do my full playthrough on stream or if I should just like play it on my own dime and stream it whenever. It's not very, you know, the narrative is delivered in a very Souls-like fashion, so it's not exactly like, it's not a linear action-adventure storytelling game, right? Not really like that. And that's all I have so far lined up for this month. I have a ton of stuff on the wish list, of course. Please, I still have a lot of games to play, but I was also reminded about this, and you might find this interesting. The Lion Song, Dry Drowning. I saw these on my Switch wish list and I forgot about them. But Dry Drowning, it's a visual novel. These are visual novels. Dry Drowning is a psychological investigative visual novel set in a futuristic dystopian city. Follow the story of Mordred Foley, unscrupulous private detective haunted by his dark past, and look into a series of macabre serial killings inspired by Greek mythology. So immediately, it doesn't sound very original, but it got pretty decent reviews. And if you're a fan of the art style, it might be a fun visual novel to experience. To Metal Gear Rex. So yeah, serial killers. Another thing I found interesting was The Lion Song. The first episode is free. I remember having wishlisted this many years ago. Look, 2016. The first episode is free, but the premise is also quite interesting to me. Basically, where's episode 1? Here. The Lion Song, episode 1, tells the story of Wilma, a talented young musician student. Wilma's talent was discovered by Arthur Caban, a wealthy university professor who invited her to Vienna. Arthur is profoundly convinced Wilma is going to play a major part in the future of modern music. Since Wilma is fighting writer's block trying to finish her career-defining composition, Arthur sends her to a solitary alpine cabin to recover inspiration and muse. Will Wilma be able to finish her breakthrough composition in this small cabin, surrounded by high mountains and stormy weather? In her creative crisis, Wilma suddenly has an unexpected encounter. Damn, I should have actually played this game as research for the play I wrote. Shit, I might do that. The choices players make in this episode will have a direct impact on the storylines of all episodes, and ultimately determine if the protagonists find the success they are working for. So there are currently 4 episodes. And I guess if you're a musician or you can relate to having like creative artist's block, looks like a pretty charming game. And lastly, for artists everywhere, I was also looking into... Where's that game? I know I wishlisted it somewhere. Fudge. Right. I was supposed to wishlist this. Beyond the Portrait? Beyond the Portrait. Beyond the painting? Portrait? Crap. Okay. I need to wishlist this before I forget about it. Crap. It is also on the mobile phones. Ah, I know. I could go to I am 8-bit. Go from there. Because they just announced the physical edition for this game, even though this game's pretty old. If you're looking at 8-bit, if you have vinyl rack. Here! Behind the Frame. And they're having a PS4 and Nintendo Switch exclusive. I think this is also a super short game, but if you're like an artist... Always search this now. Behind the Frame. Finest scenery. Here we go. This also is super interesting to me. Behind the Frame. So it's a vivid, interactive fiction about an aspiring artist on the cusp of finishing the final piece of her gallery submission. A relaxing, eloquent experience that can be played at any pace. Become immersed in a panoramic world filled with resplendent colors, beautiful hand-animated visuals, and a smooth, easy listening soundtrack. As a passionate artist, seek the missing colors that'll bring your paintings to life, all while remembering to take the occasional coffee and breakfast breaks that keep you going. There is more than what meets the eye, for every painting has a story to tell. I should probably share this to my artist friends. But it looks super wholesome. And you know... Kitty! Just finding your inspiration. Just finding that drive to do it. Sounds comfy. Yes, sounds very comfy. Did I wishlist Across the Grooves already? I wishlisted the other two, right? Crap, I didn't get to wishlist this. Before I forget about it. Do I have the trilogy already wishlisted? Yep, Sears, Along, and Across. And if you have a VR headset, I also just saw it. I just wishlisted it just because it seems pretty fun. Rumble. Like, you know, if you're a fan of Avatar The Last Airbender, this is essentially for your VR headset. It's like earthbending competition. I don't know, it's like a ridiculous tech demo. I always found it cool, you know, earthbending and how they do it. Sounds so fun. I also saw that one of you played this. I think it was Fisher. Or was it you who recommended this? Gerda. Yeah, Danish Village. I think it was Fisher who recommended this. Walk the Path of Gerda. Rafi Graffiti, welcome in. Well, I guess we are going to play Dagon. That answers my question. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome into the table. I always appreciate the raids, Rafi. Thank you so much for the support. Let me give you a shout out over there. Did I get that correct? Did I get that? Shoot. Damn it! No! I typed that wrongly. There we go. Did I get that correct? You're playing Warhammer 40k Dark Tide. Wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. How are you playing it? Oh shit, the playtest. Sorry, I just got so distracted by it. How is it? How are you enjoying it? Because I really enjoyed Vermintide, even though I didn't have a group to play with. And I thought, I'm not familiar with the Warhammer universe, right? So I'm like a total noob when it comes to the setting. But like from the makers of Vermintide, a 40k thing, it's like, why not, right? Like Back for Blood didn't exactly do it for me, but I was planning to like try out Dark Tide. Okay, well, I didn't realize November 30. Not gonna be long. Well, welcome in, everyone. Thank you for the follow, Santa Goy. And for people who just arrived, welcome to the table. This is Tabletop Cinema, where we bring together the worlds of filmmaking, tabletop role-playing, and video games. I am your host, Mikey, freelance filmmaker, tabletop RPG game master, and variety streamer on Twitch. What can you expect from this channel? Well, aside from a load of different kinds of games across all the genres, well, I hope to get back into the game master seat for tabletop role-playing games and, of course, deliver original content. I've been itching, to find a team to really bring together, create stories, run games for them, and create comics, short stories, films. Hell, I could dream, right? I want to be able to craft narratives based on our actual play sessions. Kind of like how Critical Role has the Vox Machina animated series. One can dream. One can dream. One thing at a time. You just caught us at a weird time because we just finished. Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try out Dark Tide when it comes out. November 30. And thank you again for joining the raid. Hey, Lavi. Lavi? Yes! Hey, Lavi, welcome. I just saw your first chat over there. Shame on me, but thank you for coming in. Thank you for following. As I was just saying, again, welcome to the table. We just finished a pretty good game. I do recommend it if you are into games like this. Let me get that before I forget. We just finished our first playthrough of If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. So it's actually a free game made by two people in the vein of classic Sierra adventures. Nothing too brain twisty. It's a very carefully written short story, and I like it. The writing's not bad, and I think I do like the message at the end. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's an anthology. There are 3 main acts. Around each act should take you like 30 minutes to an hour. And again, it's free, but if you're wondering more about it, it is about 4 strangers, a train, a masked ball, a tale of dark and troubling things in 4 acts. So you have the silent room, the slow vanishing of Lady Winterborn, the nameless ritual, and If on a Winter's Night. Guess what, Fisher? We're gonna play Dagon. Dagon was supposed to be part of the roster anyway, so I may as well play, because Dagon is such an Dagon's also another free game, but it's only like 30 minutes, right? So it's too short for a full stream, but it's long enough that it might like derail the schedule of another stream. But I have the energy left. I still have coffee in my pot. I want to experience Dagon, all right? Because I was hoping If on a Winter's Night for Travelers was going to be Lovecraftian inspired. I expected the wrong thing. Though I still love the game. I still enjoyed it. But I need my cosmic horror fix. So this will be my first time experiencing Dagon. I've never read the short story before, and I am not familiar with Lovecraft's work. All I played was like the Call of Cthulhu adventure game. You are in good company, Santago. You have competition now, Fisher. Fisher's the one been delivering a lot of the terrible jokes. Before Fisher, it was Mary. Mary was one of her regulars on stream. If you're hearing this, Mary, hope you're doing well. And then we have Fisher now delivering the jokes. But thank you so much, Santago. You're always welcome. People are always welcome. Like you got to get your pun game strong, right? And yes, Lancer in the background. Wow, I didn't know people could catch that on stream. But hey, yeah, I'm really having a lot of fun with Lancer. I am a player on the Lancer table, and we are playing the hardcover adventure that came with it, that came with a Kickstarter. Something about Blooms of Hercynia, I think. An amazing adventure. Like if you have not, like even if you don't like the system of Lancer, I still implore you to check out the Blooms of Hercynia narrative adventure. No room for a wallflower. Yes. Thank you. No room for a wallflower. I'm really enjoying it as a player. There's so many layers to it, and the table I'm with has a character on each level of, like, I guess we have one from the Union DOJ, the Department of Justice, one from the Science Bureau. Me, I'm like a space paladin, the Albatross, and we have someone working for the Corpos. So we have like one person on each level of influence that's pressing upon this planet, and I think it's a great setting. It's a slow burn at first, yes, but then as all the layers come together, the conflict is delicious. But how did you find the game? Lancer is, well, people say that if you love D&D 4E, or if you love really gritty tactical combat, and of course if you love mud and lasers like MechWarrior and Battletech, or mecha anime, Lancer is somehow able to translate both experiences. Like on our table, we have a mix of people who are more into like anime mecha, and others who really love like MechWarrior and Battletech, and the fantasy still kept alive on both ends. It also has great art, great setting, and really gritty tactical combat, which would be a turnoff for some, which somehow meshes well with the PBTA narrative-focused pilot gameplay. So it translates that, right? You have your super gritty mecha anime with super detailed battles, and you have all the time in the world for pilot drama. You know, people talking cockpit to cockpit, and you know, releasing all their feelings in the moment, and it's just that it captures that experience. You don't really role play in it though. To some degree, we do. Okay. So it's more like a tactical game for you guys. I searched for a lighter on Amazon, but all I could find were 6,000 matches. 6,000. Those are rookie numbers here. That is actually pretty interesting to know. Yeah, as a tactical game, I guess it also speaks a lot for the system. Because, you know, ideally, of course, I'd love a mix of it. Me, I lean more heavily into RP rather than mix maxing and full optimization. But you can do both. And it is a good sign, I think, when people who are really a stickler for like, who really love like fair, challenging, strategic combat are able to get into an RPG system. Right? Like a lot might not do it for a table that's looking for that kind of gritty detail. Like it's like going to Pathfinder after D&D 5e. Pathfinder, which is I guess also close to Lancer in the crunchiness kind of level, because you know 3.5/4e. Anyway, thank you for dropping in, everyone, and thank you for the follows. I'm just gonna change the stream details and change this to Dagon. This is gonna be a pretty chill thing. I think it's pretty much like not even a walking simulator. I think this is basically the short story audio visual book. So I'm really curious because honestly, one of the most challenging things for me to capture as a game master is cosmic horror. Hell, any horror in general in the tabletop RPG space, like there are whole seminars in terms of how to run horror. It's such a different beast when you're trying to run horror or scare your players in a TRPG setting. And in terms of like Call of Cthulhu, trying to capture, you know, the incomprehensible, unspeakable terrors, the things beyond mortal ken, the sanity rules. I don't feel like it's all there yet. Like my experience with Call of Cthulhu, it's like roll for sanity. Oh, you lose sanity points, and then how do you explain a brief bout of insanity? And like, how does that even psychologically make sense? Like, I think a lot of psychologists were also looking, like psychologist players were also looking into like the sanity rules, and they really tried to like, I don't know, like, yeah, it is a game, but is there how do you make it a more compelling system? Liminal horror, I've not heard of that. Okay, yeah, that's one thing you gotta agree with, San. Can I call you San? Santagoy? ComCon, you're right. You know, at this point, I would say Lancer is an app-assisted tabletop role-playing game. You are right. Our table cannot survive without ComCon. Jesus. Or imagine, man, we used to do, when we started Lancer, we used to be like on manual ComCon. All right, like before ComCon got its shit together. Like this is the early days of beta testing. ComCon wasn't a thing yet. We printed out like our sheets and everything. And like it is such a mind-numbing effort. We had fun. It's just, man, could you imagine if the app did this for us? And it's a great onboarding process as well for new players, right? Compared to like going through the whole book and then going through all these details. All right, now let's choose your mech parts. You have this number of system points. Here's your license level. Here's an entire list of everything you can get. Now go shopping and fit it into your build. Honestly, yeah, ComCon, lifesaver, and I think it's a great way. It's a great showcase of how app integration can really help streamline the RPG process. So I'm not familiar with the D&D Beyond tools, but I hear people are fairly okay with like how it assists the GM digitally. Anyway, backrooms? Is liminal horrors connected to backrooms? Or is liminal horror a genre? Oh, no. Liminal horrors is a rules-light, fail-forward tabletop RPG role-playing game with facilitator and at least 2 other players. Players act as investigators navigating a modern world full of terrible and unknowable things that hide in the spaces between, looking for a way in. Oh, it's just a liminal spaces joke? Oh, wait. Is that a game? I feel like No, it's not a game, is it? No. I remember there's a game with liminal in it. Never mind. We were going to play Dagon, Chad. I'm going to change my stream details. Manage, edit stream info. Face Unspeakable Horrors. Dagon, Part 1. And change to Dagon. All right. That concludes the first playthrough of If on a Winter's Night for Travelers. We'll be moving on now to Dagon by H.P. Lovecraft. This is a free game on Steam as well. And it is a 3D narrative experience in madness, based on the cult short story of the same title by the master of cosmic horror and weird fiction, and an overall very problematic person. We all know that. H.P. Lovecraft himself. It's an interactive portal into the world of the controversial genius. I already say it here. It's an interactive portal into the world of the controversial genius and his highly acclaimed Cthulhu mythos, open to both newcomers and longtime devotees. And got it? All right, cut. Ending the recording there.